All right. So if you're watching this on YouTube live or you're watching a replay of this, um, within this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking to a handful of creators, agency owners, helping them grow their business, whether it's getting traffic, discovery calls, converting those discovery calls into clients, onboarding clients, whether it's getting clients results, all kinds of different things. So if you get value from this, and if you want to be a part of one of these coaching calls, you can scroll down to the description within this YouTube video, click a link, and it'll take you to an application page where you can apply to um, join our coaching program. Okay. What's going on, Righteous? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's up, Coach Sheik? I'm doing good. How you doing?
Chilling, chilling. Just enjoying my Monday. Looking forward to chatting with you guys, seeing what's new. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I can't complain. Let's see, I see we got some snow here.
I woke up in a bad mood.
Man, I had to get the snow off the car this morning. I'm like, here we go.
Here we go, man. It's that time of the year again. We
Yeah,
got November, December, January, February, March. It's like 5 months of hell. And then April, it's like, okay, cool. We're okay. We're back.
yeah. And I'm born in March too. So it's like I should be cool with it, but it's like, nah.
No, it's
I'm
still
anything but the snow.
the same. I'm the same. Rivier, hope you're doing well, bro.
Yeah. How are you guys?
Chilling, chilling. Just enjoying Monday. How was your weekend?
It was good. Just spending with family and stuff, so just chilling.
Good, good, man. Cool. I'm gonna wait for Aiden to hop in, but yeah, got some stuff drawn out for you, Riviera, and then just like making some notes for each of you guys in terms of like talking points. Um, yeah, Righteous. I feel like the conversation we're gonna be having is like very similar to Aiden, to be like talking about like finding salespeople.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been getting punched in the face, but it was all my fault.
What do you mean by it was all your fault?
Like just practicing the script more. Like I came across one of Alex Hermosi's videos and how he was talking about how he trained his sales reps, and he was like he'll have them have two copies of the script, like practice, and then one like a original copy, and he'll make them run through it every single time. And after you run through it the first time, you go back to the top of the list and you just black out like a word, like, and then you just keep doing that.
Black out the word? What do you mean? So like
Like
he makes people like memorize it?
yeah, he was like, that's how you can like if you want to memorize anything, he was like, if you read the script however many times there my fault, that was like a tongue twister. You got to read the script over like however many times there's words in there. So if it's like 500 words in a script, you run through it like you'll
Oh,
end up doing it 500 times that way. So that's what I
I think I know
felt.
what you're talking about. Are you talking about like Hormozy's like the way he teaches sales?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way that he does it is he has a script, Koshik, and then what he does is you read the script to completion, then you take like a highlighter and you mark off a word, and then you read the script again, and you
hmm.
repeat the process until the only thing that you're left looking at is just like completely black lines, and then you should by that point know the entire script word for word. So it's kind of like a way of like studying the script, but at the same time like memorizing it at a point you don't even need to look at it anymore.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
He was like, at that point, you don't you breathe the script at that point. Like there's no way, you know. So that's what I
Oh,
came across and I realized I'm like, okay,
so
value.
I thought I saw somewhere in one of his trainings, or I saw some video where he says like the only script he has is like objections. Like some things like objection or very few things that he has like people like remember script for, but like a lot of it is like kind of just taking the conversation where it goes and just understand the principles.
I mean,
Um,
that's probably what he does, but he probably has all of his salespeople like get all the objections down really well.
yeah, yeah, makes sense. Um, let's see here who we're waiting on. So Aiden, starting with Aiden, but he's taking a little bit of time, so I guess we can go and get started. Who here is in a rush? Anybody in a rush?
Hey, five
Adrian?
o'clock my time. I have to leave by 6 o'clock my time, so I've got an hour, so no big rush.
Okay. What did you want to go over, Jeremy, before Aiden gets here?
I really didn't have anything different from last week. I'm anxious to hear what they talk about. So,
Okay. Um, I don't think anything in particular. Aiden and Righteous are struggling a little bit with sales, so they want to maybe talk about sales rep. Um, Revere and we have some specific things to go over. Um, so nothing in particular. Was there is there anything like is there any new developments on your end, Jeremy, since the last time we?
yeah, I mean, I had 3 sales calls. What is today's Monday?
Yeah,
Jeez.
you had that threesome, I remember.
Yeah, I had a threesome. It was amazing. We were really reaching around to help each other, and no, I mean, I had a threesome. I had a lady create a sales call with me and then asked if she could bring her friend along who owned another sales med spa. So we were just, talking about it together and just really a great time. Every salesperson's fantasy.
Mhm.
It went very well. And then I had a sales call immediately after that, and that went very well. So I'm giving them a little space, told them I'd be back this week to talk to them, and hopefully I'll get all 3 of them signed. Um, tr you know, Trying not to worry too much about all the other stuff where people I think are getting frustrated with leads. But I did have one video I watched, and then I talked to a client about it, and they kind of brought up the same thing. So I may go back and try this because everybody's biggest problem with leads is people don't answer. That's the biggest problem. Whether they're good leads, bad leads, or indifferent, they just on that initial call or two, they won't answer. So you talked about doing maybe trying out Facebook Messenger. And I was just talking earlier, like 40 minutes ago, to another client up in Minnesota that I work with. And he said, I've tried the Messenger thing. It doesn't really work. But he said, have you ever tried the chat bot via texts? Instead of just sending the automated texts like, here, click this link or call us here. He said, have you ever tried setting up the chat bot where it will talk to people via text, answer questions and maybe book them? And I have. I did that about a year ago this time. And with Go High Level, that was kind of glitchy still. It wasn't really working right. So after I got off the phone with him, I went in and started reading. Obviously, they've done a lot in the last year, and people seem pretty happy with that. So I'm going to try to, I have the remnants of the chatbots I had created last year so I'm going to go in, and I think with this client in particular, because he's the one I'm trying to get him to let me use his information to get into the groups. I'm going to build that chat bot where it will, instead of just sending an automated text, it will talk to people. Just like, hey, you just submitted your lead. Because I think he's really, I mean, he's a doctor. So he's like, they're getting that cortisol hit, that dopamine. They just need somebody to talk to them right then and right there. We can't do it at 1 o'clock in the morning, but maybe they'll text. And that triggered that, like, oh, I did do that chatbot that one time. And the only real issue with it was it worked. People talk to it all the time. The problem was it would say, here's the available dates for booking. And it would say, okay, you're all booked. And then it wouldn't put it in the calendar. And people would show up at the med spa and the lady would be like, I didn't have you on my calendar. And we'd go back and look, and the chatbot, sure enough, was telling them it was booking them, but it wasn't pushing it into the Google Calendar. So I'm going to go back and try that because this guy doesn't really have a thing where they book on a calendar. But I'm going to see if I can get the chatbot to kind of talk to people and say, answer any questions they may have, and then say, okay, what would be
What
a good time for Isra to call you, and then let them set up that appointment.
what was the show up rate from that? Do you remember by any chance? Because the issue that we had with me and Aman had is the show up rate. And so, we would have the chat bot, it would talk to people, and then, we book them in, but then they wouldn't show up. And then we were like, well, we still need a human to have that conversation, still collect a deposit. So we
Yeah,
had,
at that point, I didn't have the ability. There wasn't anything that really allowed you to collect a deposit. It would put it on their calendar. But the show up rate for the lady in South Carolina was pretty darn near 100%. But I think that's where she's at because she
huh,
is literally 50, 60 miles from any city. And look it up, Greenwood, South Carolina. It's a long way from any,
can't hear you.
sorry. They're a long way from any big city. And the, what do you call it? The per capita, the income is very high. And the way she describes it is it's a bunch of people that are older than 50 years old. They have a lot of money and they like this stuff. So for her, it was almost all the time. Now, I did try it with another client or two, and we just didn't have any luck with it at all because they had no way to book. They didn't use a Google Calendar. They used some sort of EMR or EHR, and that makes it really tough if you're trying to get them to book with the person with the bot texting, and you don't have a way to connect the bot to their calendar. So,
So with the
but
new updates, would you be able to solve that problem, or you still wouldn't be able
I
to
don't
solve
know. We literally got off the phone like 4:30.
it? Okay.
So, but he wrote it down, and I wrote chatbot for leads because he didn't like the messenger. He's like, I don't turn on messenger. I don't mess with that. It's all junk. But he said, I think that if I could figure out a way for somebody to be able to text them, and I'm like, well, there is a chat bot. And he's like, well, let's try that. And like I said, the interaction rate with the chat bot was great, really good. I even tried it for myself for a while. It was really good. It had problems booking. It was buggy.
Okay.
So even
So,
people would book a
so
discovery call with me and it wouldn't show up in my calendar.
So the issue, if I'm understanding correctly, and I just want to verify, is like you get a lead through the instant format, you got to call them right away. The business owner is not calling them right away, and because they're not calling right away, when they do call later on, no show, ring after ring, blah, blah, blah. That's the issue.
Dead.
And so the idea is if we can just like text them right away while they're so hot, get them booked in, and then maybe the business owner at that point can call, follow up, like, hey, just wanted,
Yeah.
we'll see you. That's great. I think that's a great idea. I think I met Aman does have one of the clients who actually does that. They text to get them booked in, and then they will call them before showing up to make sure that there's a show up rate. So that would be a good move to potentially try.
Okay.
So give
I'll
that a
remember it. I
so
think we were gonna, he doesn't have Google Calendar connected to Go High Level. He does an EHR. So he said his preference was, have the thing talk, ask any questions, whatever, and then say, what's your best time for us to call you tomorrow? And then tell him his VA is a young lady named Isra. And he said, we'll tell them Isra will be calling you at 10 o'clock, you know. So if you see an unknown, and he was suggesting even like, and here's the phone number, here's how to look. So, because she's in Pakistan, so she'll be calling from his Go High Level number.
Yeah, if you want to give that a shot, give that a shot. I think those are two different things, right? Like one thing is, hey, just text and get them booked in, and then the business calls to confirm so there's no show. The other one is what you're talking about, which is a different strategy slightly, which is, hey, we're gonna
Yeah.
have somebody call you. So I guess you can test them both
I,
out.
I've been talking to Isra quite a bit. We meet once a week, she and I just ask her, what are your problems? When you talk to somebody, what are you facing? And so I think when she gets to talk to somebody, we've got a good process of her getting people booked. It's the getting a hold of somebody. And she said she even, there was some study that was published probably 3 or 4 months ago. You could probably go Google it that was talking about how do you get a hold of leads, and it's nothing new. It says you have to call them within 5 to 10 minutes of them submitting the information. If not, then you try 8 to 9 in the morning or 4 to 5. And the absolute worst time to call is between the hours of 12 and 1. But even the study says call them in 5 to 10 minutes. Here are some alternatives, but if you don't get them in 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
So it's like saying, if you don't take a gun into the ring with you with Mike Tyson, you're going to lose. It's going to happen. So but she told me every time I'm able, if it's during the business day, if I get the lead, I get the text and I call within 5 to 10 minutes, she said the pickup rate is higher than 50%.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just the problem is most of the leads come in at like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at
Right.
night.
Right. Right.
So just trying to figure something out. If I could crack that, to me is really the only kink I have is
That's
then I
that
would,
that was our kryptonite for a year and a half. So
yeah, we'll see. I tried it before and it sort of worked, but their software, their AI was buggy. Let's see how it does this time.
yeah. All right, cool.
That
Just
was
keep me.
really, I'm just anxious to hear what Amon and Aiden had to say.
Oh, shoot. I should have updated you. So they actually won't be hanging out today. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was
Well,
wondering,
that's all right.
yeah, no,
Let
I
me
got
tell you more about my threesome.
I got a message last minute from Aman earlier today, and so I'm gonna be scheduling something out with them. And hopefully Monday. So I'll update you. I'll be sure to
Okay.
update
Well, if they're on next Monday, I'll try to jump on too.
you. Okay.
I just was, I can't remember what you said, but you said they were having some success around things and I just wanted to hear it.
Yeah, yeah, those guys they really figure out how to like drive and make things work. I was gonna maybe play some of their stuff or show you some of their stuff. But I think it'd be best if I just had them come. But I'm gonna put a reminder to remind Jeremy about Cam.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I'm pretty confident in the three that I got to talk to last week. That would push me up. I went back and checked my client count. Right now, I have 7 with the one that I actually let go. So I
Okay.
have 7. That would get me up to 10.
Yeah.
And that's always been my magical number. If I can get to 10, the next 5, I'm going to start charging more. And then the next 5, I'm going to start charging more. And
Are
uh,
you record the calls by any chance?
I don't. I will if you want me to.
Yeah, I'd love.
They
I
last forever.
No, that's fine. I'd love to because I know your sales process is a little bit different than most of the guys here. I think I think your process is different than everybody actually. I think Cam follows it pretty close to a T. I think you do something very different, and then everybody else kind of does something similar to Cam. So I'd be curious to see what you're doing because it sounds like you have a call and you don't necessarily collect the cash right then and there. How many
No.
how many calls have you had where you're collecting the cash right there and there versus the cash was collected like a day or two later or whatever? It
About
sounds
50, 50, 50.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
with
just
you,
kind of, you to me, it's all a feel game, and that's hard to explain.
I know.
But by things they're saying and doing and reacting, I can tell they want to do it,
Right, right.
but I know if I push, I'm going to scare them off.
Right. And I think
So,
it's you're able to get away with that more. I know it's a field thing, but you're able to get away with that more because it's referrals. With
yeah,
when it comes to ads, even if you feel like whatever, sometimes they'll still, kind of like, escape from your fingertips. But with referrals, it seems like you have, in my experience, you have more leeway to be a little bit more patient. So I
this,
get,
yeah, this lady I spoke to who brought, I've only spoken, now I've spoken to her twice.
yeah,
Once on the discovery call, once on the sale call where she brought somebody. Um, if she jumps, now she's only been in business literally a month, but if she were to jump on, I have a feeling she's going to be like the lady in South Carolina. I
yeah.
just think she's going to be like a duck to water. And the lady in Vancouver, Washington, that's another one. She's paused right now because she's married and on her honeymoon. Her name's Lauren from Vancouver, Washington. She is so good.
Mhm.
And she's gonna, when she gets back from her honeymoon, she said she'd record a testimony for me. She'd be happy to talk about my new referral program, is how I'm positioning it.
That's one of the reasons I was asking is I'm curious to hear what you've been saying regarding the referral stuff. That's why.
Yeah, well, I've gone back to all of them and told them, whether it be through Slack or on Zoom or whatever. Hey guys, I'm working on a new referral program. I want to tell all of you about it. When you have some time, schedule a call with me. So, and then the lady in South Carolina who I've been trying to kind of, will you give me more referrals? And she's just kind of, very set in her ways. I told her I'm coming up with a new one. I'd really like to pick your brain and get your thoughts. I want to make her feel like she's got some say in it,
Yeah, yeah.
and she will because she's just really good at what she does. And if it works for her, if she's like, yeah, that would work, and it sets a fire under her, I think it would do it for anybody. So anyway, I'm still kind
These
of working through that.
these three that came in, so is it different people that referred each of them, or is it one person that referred all of them? So
The
how does that work?
the
What
yeah,
did
the I'd have to go back and ask them. I think they all were. Here's the weird thing is none of them were necessarily like recently referred. I think they're just in that group and were scrolling through posts and saw. So it
okay.
wasn't like a thing where they had posted something. They just were like, scrolling Facebook and, oh, what's this? And they clicked and started reading the comments and there they were. So I don't know where they came from. I don't know who it was. I know I have two people actively saying things on my behalf, the guy in Minnesota and the lady in South Carolina. But I haven't gotten either one of them to say, all right, let you log in.
It's
So
cool. Like even you just saying that, it's so I love you, but it's so infuriating because it's like
I know.
you got like this YouTube video that you posted like 10 years ago and it still drives sales for you.
Yeah.
Organic. Just
But I know you want me to like go from 0 to 100. I'm okay with just growing one or two clients every month. That's nice for me. I'm okay with that.
yeah.
It's a pace that I'm good with. Just
It's
from
not
a
it's not
client.
going 0 to 100, just to clarify. It's having something consistent where you're never fearful of, oh my God, Kushi, what am I gonna? Because when I see you stressed every 6 months, I see you stressed and my heart goes out to you. I feel really
I,
bad.
I will tell you, I haven't felt that. Now I do want to run some new ads and I have some ideas around. I will tell you what works for me when I do these sales calls, I think, is just when I'm just me,
Yeah.
just like I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't speak fancy. I don't talk, big games and big numbers. I've been thinking about just making an ad using this kind of quality camera, nothing fancy, and just saying, hey, are you a med spa owner? And you just want somebody who's like you, who understands you, who's running their own business and takes pride in their work to help you. I can do that. Let me tell you a little bit how it works. And if you want to talk more about it, give me a call.
Oh, oh. I'm so glad you brought this up. Try that. I didn't mean to cut you off. Try
No,
that. But there's an ad that we came up with that is gangbusters. I think would work really well for you actually.
okay.
I was thinking about you. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot to bring this up, but Jorge came up with this and it's just gangbusters. It's just working super well. Um, this is gonna just like it will I believe it will work really well in your industry actually. Um,
Mason, where are you at?
I'm in Texas right now.
I was going to say, well, we're both in the central time zone. How is it lighter where you are?
Yeah, it's still light out.
It's weird. It's kind of dark here. I go out every day at lunch and enjoy the sunset.
Yeah, I'm more south. I'm more south than you right now.
Yeah. Have you got a drawl yet? A little
So
Have a what?
a southern drawl?
No, dude,
Find yourself
Alex.
saying,
You know what's
"Y'all want to
crazy?
come and eat?"
You know what's crazy, dude? Like when I first got here, I had like the worst throat, like worst sore throat ever, because it's so fucking dry here.
Yeah, it's just what but you should do one of those videos. Day one of being in Texas. Day two of being in Texas.
Meow.
Day three of being in Texas. Pew, 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 pew. Just, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's look at these ads. What do we got here?
Yeah, yeah, sorry.
you're good. So basically we were just throwing stuff at the wall, right? And so it didn't this one didn't perform really, and me, I'm always just like, hey man,
I
just
don't,
30, just
are you
spend some.
sharing it?
Yeah, yeah. Can you see my screen?
No,
I see it.
I don't. Hang on.
Jeremy, you might need to toggle the screen you're
Oh,
on.
there it is. I got it.
So I'm always of the belief of like, hey, just throw some money behind it and we'll see what happens. I don't really try to think too much as to like why something works. I'm just like spend some money and then we'll see. And if it works, then I'll try to analyze and figure it out. So he threw this ad, didn't quite work. Did this ad, didn't quite work, and then this one worked. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I get why this doesn't work because it's high ticket. Like again, if I'm cold traffic and I'm looking at this, there's nothing that like this doesn't make any sense to me. This is just another version of that, just like more like animated. And then I saw this one's popping off. I'm like, oh, I see why this works. Jiu-jitsu school owners, we created the perfect lead, actually shows up to appointments, isn't looking for free trial, wants to pay good money. Boom. Think about your industry. Your industry would eat this up. And so we did that. That one worked really well. And then what we did is we came in here and create a bunch of variations, and that's what we're doing.
Okay. I just screenshotted that. Yeah, I forget what that's called. I actually there's a name for that. I don't know
You're
what that.
breaking up, Jeremy. I don't know if it's
Sorry, is that better? Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. I don't know if it's this internet, maybe, or is it mine?
Hello, 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 hello. Testing one, two. Testing one, two.
I can hear you right now.
I could hear you too.
Oh, it looks like he just disconnected potentially.
Yeah, there's a name for that kind of ad. He maybe just had a bad connection. I forget what it's called, but I've actually made some I'll show you what I did for a client.
Did you use Chat GPT to make those, Jorge?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say I've been testing along the lines of that with those. I mean, while we wait for Kashik to be back, what I will say, you guys, is like I know we've like talked in previous weeks about the like Andromedia update or whatever, but like what I will say is like, dude, if you can create ads fast as hell like that, like go and do it because I mean, I kind of was lazy at first. Like, I did not want to create all new ads, and I really kind of fucked myself over by not creating more and more and more ads. So what I will say is like in terms of like your niches or whatever, like I would recommend like bare minimum launching like 3 new creatives a week and just testing them. Even if you just put like a $10 budget on them, like just try it out because the way like I read a lot more into the systems of it, how it actually worked, and like watched so many different videos on it. And like the number one thing is like if you're running like a VSL funnel versus like what I run, which is like IGDM ads or like follower ads, the the structure of them is so different in way in how it works. It's like now you basically create one campaign and one ad set, and then depending on which type of funnel that you're actually running is how your campaigns are actually set up. So like for example, if you're running like a VSL ad, or like a calendar booking page, right? Something along the lines of that. You're literally putting your entire funnel into one ad set. So you know how like originally what you would do is like you do your top of the funnel ad, then you do like a middle of the funnel or like bottom of the funnel ad. Now it's like put everything in the same ad set, and that's what works the best. Does that make sense? You guys
Yeah,
pick
yeah, and I think Andromeda is real big about. I've watched videos where they're talking about you're supposed to create upwards of 50 new creatives every month. I mean, that's just almost physically impossible, but I know the more creatives you do with it, the better it is.
Did
Yeah.
you,
So
sorry,
like don't just switch like the beginning of it.
Yeah, you have to do the whole new
Do like
hook,
a whole fucking yeah, whole new thing.
whole new benefit statement, everything. It has to be, it's supposed to be diversity in numbers and creatives and hook and messaging, everything.
Yeah.
It's it's tough.
Is there like a just out of curiosity, sorry, Kushik, I just have a question. So Jorge, with those ads that you're running, is there like one clear winner over the other?
so he's so right now I'll let him kind of answer if he's
Yeah.
there. The one that was so the initial one that worked well was that one, this one right here,
Mhm.
right? And so this is the one he found online. He found this online. I was like, okay, cool. Now that we have this, let's create multiple variations of it. Let's have one that's like more of like an 80s aesthetic. Let's have one that's like a neon aesthetic to kind of go to different people. And so right now we had just a sale that came in, and I think it's this one. So we're asking them, hey, which one of these is it that you came from? So we're still waiting to hear back, but I think based off of his numbers, it's this one. I can let obviously Jorge chime in, but I think it's
I
this
just
one.
got it back. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're
It
good,
was
bro.
that one.
It's this one, the neon one.
The sleek, the one on the light blue one all the way to the right.
This one.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, that makes sense. And so we have now another version that Jorge created just to play off of that one, where we have like just one person in the middle as opposed to like two and the mannequin or whatever.
Mm.
Um, just again, like try out various variations to like kind of like trick the algorithm. So I just bring this up because I honestly I feel like this would work in a lot of niches, but especially in yours, Jeremy. So I just want to share that with you really quick.
I made this one. I don't know if you can see my screen, but this has been a little bit ago. But the same kind of concept. There's a name for this ad or this style where you have arrows pointing with
Yep.
benefits. I don't know
Yep.
what it's called, but
Press reset on your skin, or we figured out the perfect skin solution. We
yeah,
figured out how to get you looking 10 years younger.
yep. And this one did very well for her.
Yeah, makes
She
sense.
didn't like the AI, but it's an AI person, obviously. But I told her, well, why don't you let me try it? And I do that all the. I don't know if you guys get that, but I get clients all the time who are like, I don't really like how that ad's, and they want to
The
dictate
dumbest,
to you.
bro, just don't even complain about it. It's the dumbest fucking thing ever. It's like, oh, I hate money.
Yeah, so
Like,
I always
oh,
bet
it
them.
doesn't look like my branding, bro. I remember
I get that. Yeah, I
being
always bet
like,
them a Snickers bar. Like I'll make one the way you want, and I'll make mine, and we'll run them both together. And at the end of the month, whoever's got the most leads has to send the other one a Snickers bar. I've won 6 Snickers bars so far, so I'm undefeated. Anyway,
So,
that's all I had. I do like those ads. I remember them. You started showing them last week.
yep, yep. Check them out. Try, give it a shot. I can almost guarantee it's going to work well for you to get you some book calls.
Okay. Well, I saved them when you were on there. I saved the screenshots of them, so I'll
Perfect.
give it a shot. Might as well.
Anything else, Jeremy, that you wanted to talk about? And again, I'll update you next time because I know you were mainly here for eight, Cam and Aman.
That's
Hopefully,
okay. Yeah, that's okay. I'm excited to try this chatbot thing again and see how that goes. If it works, I'll let everybody know.
yeah,
And once I get it set up and figured out, I'll make a little video and shoot it into the Slacks. I'm sure you all are just as nerdy as I am and can figure out all those things, but I'll show you like the automation I created because sometimes those can be tough. And that was probably the toughest thing last time, other than it not booking into their calendar. It was figuring out how to make the automation work so that it would trigger it and activate it. It wasn't that. It was just like what happens when they say this or do that, So, what if they don't answer you? Then what is it? What comes out? And so I've got that automation saved. I'm hoping it still works because that took a lot to figure out. So,
yeah, Yeah. Well, yeah, keep us posted. That'd be, I know the guys would really appreciate that. But
All
yeah,
right.
just keep posted. Anything else top of mind, Jeremy?
No, appreciate seeing you guys and uh being here, and I wish everybody a great week.
Yeah. You too. Go get more of those Snickers and have more threesomes.
Every man's fantasy, I'm telling you, every salesperson's fantasy. Aiden wasn't here. Aiden, I had a threesome last week on a sales call. I had one med spa invite another med spa onto the sales call. We were just all over each other. I should have recorded it. We could have watched it. All of us could have just sat here like, oh my gosh, can you believe he said that? Oh, so hot.
I mean, for real though, like we all goon over that stuff, man. Like an actual sales call, we're just like, oh yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Oh, rewind it to that part where he said, I can get you signed up right now if you want. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a good week.
Yeah. All right. Aiden, hope you're doing well, man. Um, so I feel like, I mean, who here at this point is kind of like in a rush? They have to like bounce. Anybody?
Me, I am.
Okay. Okay. In that case, then let's do this because Aiden and Righteous, I feel like you guys are in the same place where we're just gonna be talking about like trying to figure out what we need to do for sales. Aside from that, um, Riviera, I'm gonna give him some specific things, and then Jorge probably like very quick. So I feel like maybe me and Esteban can do a little bit of talking right now, give him some value, and then he's at the 6 for 6 weeks, so maybe you guys can also like chime in and give him some advice. But what's up, bro? I didn't see a question from you. What specifically did you want to go over, bro?
More than anything, I just got another lead, so I'm like trying to do that, call them as soon as possible thing. So give them a call, and I have a sales call at 8 to get ready for too.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, what did you want to like go over while before we let you? I mean, did a lead just popped in?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, bro, you can just like make that call and come back if you want. It's up to you. And so if I were you, I would make that call real quick. Make that call real quick, come back, and then I guess what time is it right now? 6:30. I guess we could just like talk real quick, and then we could just probably let you go, and then you can do what you need to do. This way you can just stay focused. So let me just help you out, and then you can go on your way and do what you need to do.
Okay.
What do you want to go over, bro?
I would say shit. It's like so whenever you think you have someone that's interested in the product, right? So in the sales call and all of that, you go through the 7 9 figure machine. They understand it. You're asking them, hey, do you understand everything? Blah blah blah. And eventually you're like, hey, if there's anything else that you would want to know or anything besides finances that will stop you from moving forward, they still say no, that's the only thing will be finances, but then they still have something else to say afterwards, if that makes sense.
So
It's
you're
like
saying how do you navigate that is what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay. Um, so
So the one I was telling you about, the decorator, event decorator, she
Mhm.
was okay with the price of 1,800 a month. And so she was okay with the price, but what she wanted was um a guarantee that she'll be able to make that back within the first month. And I wasn't quite sure. I kind of I guaranteed her that she wouldn't lose money, that we would continue to like advertise for her as long as she until she makes her return on her investment. But I feel like there should have been a better way for me to handle that because she blatantly said like the money's not the issue.
Mhm. Yeah. So I feel like what I try to do, bro, before, and it's is I was trying to kind of like go through your calls
Gotcha.
and in order to kind of like maybe give you a little bit of feedback, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is I didn't get a chance, like I
And
couldn't
since you guys are not getting,
like this is like I felt like this was a better one. Let me close out of this real quick.
I
This
did figure out a big issue though. So my Loom, for some reason, since I have the laptop version, I
yeah.
had to go in the system settings in order to record the sound from coming from the computer. And
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
notice that shit until like today. I was like, all these 11 plus discovery calls and sales call. It's just me talking because whenever they're talking within the same, it wasn't gathering their information, their voice.
Is this Zoom calls or is this Google?
Google.
Okay. Um, so I don't, I mean, I think if I were you, take some time to look in your settings, but like the problem with this is like one, obviously I can only hear you, but two, I need to not only be able to hear them, I need to be able to see their face.
Okay.
Because if I can see, like for example, if I can come in here, I can see
I go to.
I'm paying attention to their body language and
Yeah.
stuff like that when I'm giving feedback. Because I can tell you, like, hey, this is bullshit, it's not bullshit, or hey, well, watch out for this, look where their eyes went, whatever. So it's a little bit hard for me to like obviously like give advice because I don't fully know if they're bought in or not. I can tell you based off what you're saying, maybe like do things a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just gonna be a better thing. It's just like me kind of running through from A to Z instead of like answering a specific question for you because the question you're asking might not be the right question to ask. Like that might not solve the problem for you. I don't
Okay.
know if that makes sense. It's kind of like it's kind of like you think the problem is here. You're looking here. It's like, hey, bro, there's something here. Can you help me out with this? And I'm like, bro, the problem's actually like here.
Yeah. It could have happened like way earlier on.
So
Maybe I didn't clarify something or
exactly.
explain
So
something correctly. So she has
exactly. So
some
instead of like looking
objections.
here, what would be beneficial is just watching it from A to Z, a good one, and then and throughout the whole call, I can tell you, oh, here's a small little thing, here's a small little thing. Because you said this at the 10-minute mark, that's why you had the issue at the 40-minute mark. That's most likely what's actually happening. Because I can tell you, if she says, for example, I want a guarantee, it's most likely, I don't know for sure, but it's most likely because you didn't say certain things like, okay, so at the ad level, here's what we're gonna do. And this gets you this lead, this lead, this lead. Now, in my experience, your cost per lead is gonna be about, I don't know, $5 and then nurture and then close. So in terms of closing, you sell for 5K. Cost per acquisition, maybe it's going to cost you about 500. So let's just say theoretically you spent $2,000 a month on ads. Let's just do some numbers here. Da, 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 da. So here's what we're looking in terms of ROI. So you probably didn't do anything like that, but like those small little touches are where people like are like, oh, duh. Like I see the numbers, duh. Kind of like me and you talking this past week. I'm like, bro, look how much you spent. What do you think realistically happened if you spent 500? And you're like, oh, well, duh. Does that make sense? So it's like you probably weren't doing those small little things that make her believe it. So when you by the time you get to like the guarantee and everything, I want a guarantee. I've had that happen, by the way. We're like, oh, give me a guarantee. That she's it's like women. They tell you one thing, but they want something else. So
Yeah.
she's telling you she wants a guarantee. You could verbatim say, I guarantee this, and she still wouldn't buy. I can almost guarantee you that. So that's not the solution. The solution is using the right words and really selling her here so that she doesn't even ask you for the guarantee. So she
Oh,
asked you for the guarantee, which means she has uncertainty doubt. So you have to kill the uncertainty doubt so that she doesn't even ask you for the guarantee.
got it. Okay. Yeah, so now what I've been doing is that right there, the 7 9 figure machine and the little demo. I've been going in depth into it, showing her examples of what like the eyeballs would be in terms of her business, leads, nurturing, whatever. But I haven't been giving her numbers in terms of like this is what
Let
it
me
would look like. So that's
let me run through this from top to bottom really quick for you, and I think that'll help you. I know you said you got your sales call at what, 8 o'clock?
yeah.
Have you created this diagram? Have you already prepped for it or no?
No, not yet.
So I'll just try to get through this as fast as possible, right? So start the conversation, break the ice. Hey, so here's what you can expect on today's call. Why do you think we do this?
Just to like qualify them or just get them prepared.
Basically, you're setting the frame so that they can't like throw something out of the ball for you or whatever. Two, you're kind of like landing on, hey, we have a structure behind this. And then third, yeah, pretty much that. Like, hey, you're not gonna get any curveballs. You're gonna be able to kind of keep them pace. You're just setting the frame. Like for that first date, hey, girl, if you're gonna go on this date with me, here's what to expect. Right?
Basically, yes, though, it's just like when you get on the call with someone, right? It's like a conversation's about to happen, but if you don't set that frame, it gives the prospect the idea that they could have control, and basically within 2 minutes they could be like, "Well, what's the price?"
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're left being like, "Oh, you can either tell them the price, which probably you wouldn't want to do, or you have to be like, yeah, man, we have to get to that. It's not like you drop your car off at the shop knowing it has an issue you don't even know about, then asking how much it's going to cost. It's like, I don't even know yet."
Yeah.
So yeah, we're setting the frame so that again they're playing within, they're coming into our frame as opposed to us going to their frame. And then we said this, they say cool. So then about in this section, do you understand why I set this in for you guys now? The about me section?
Yeah.
Okay. So just in your own words, why do you think we have this?
So they can understand. I mean, especially with a 6 figure 6 weeks funnel, they might not see my face, so at least they know a little bit more about me, and gives them a chance to ask us questions. So that way, it makes us the authority once they are asking us questions and we're answering, letting them know we're just like not a random person.
Yeah, what I found is that again, somebody else that I'm running the 6 for 6 weeks for, they would get to the end and then there's asking questions like, oh, how old are you? How long? Because it's a kid, it's a younger dude, he's about 20, 25 years old. And just the way he doesn't talk as confident. And so I'm like, okay, if I just put this about me section and say some stuff, subconsciously there's gonna be like, oh, this guy's legit. He is who he says he is. So that's kind of the purpose. So we're good there. Um, so now in terms of qualifications, why are we doing what we're doing here? So what is the purpose of this first one?
To get them booked ASAP, so they're not trying to at the end, so they're not coming up with an excuse saying, "Oh yeah, I can start in, but I can't do it now. I have to do it in a week or two or a month or two." They're already saying they're available within the week.
So the all of these you really do a tie down on. A lot of the guys like, they just run through this really fast. Hey, okay, so I would read this off. Hey, so just due to operational constraints, John, we're basically batch shooting all the content next week. So we have a director coming in, we have an editor coming in, we have a producer coming in, and what we're doing is we're shooting all the client's content all in one go. And that's what's allowing us to do this free video commercial offer. That's how we're able to keep expenses really low. Are you, it looks like we have, can you do Thursday by any chance? No? Or I mean, I might be able to move. So you seem really like, hey, okay. So you have to kind of stick to, and then again, when you say these things, bro, you bring them back depending on their energy. Like when you get to pricing, you're like, okay, cool. So I'm happy in a pricing. Again, if everything works out well, then we'll be in next Thursday for you. So you remind them of this thing because they're gonna forget, right? You remind them of that. You bring them back. Okay. Can you afford to spend this? The reason we do this one is because if this scares them, then I just know it's probably going to be an issue, right? Usually people know that I don't just mean their savings, checking, loan, whatever, right? If they can't, then it's probably not worth pushing the sales call. With you, you want to push everything. But most people, again, if this scares them, I know it's kind of not worth having that call. This one gets turned with the partner spouse objection. Again, this one, so this one's super important, right? So can you afford to spend this? They say, yeah, cool. So just making sure like liquid, you have access to that liquid right now. The reason I'm asking is again, we're probably going to be shooting next Thursday for you. And assuming we're going to launch the ads, we're going to start getting everything set up for you actually like tomorrow, right? So assuming everything sounds good, I want to start getting these ads and everything launched for you tomorrow. So do you have that liquid right now available for us to be able to launch for you? Again, I know I hopefully this isn't too much of an issue for you, but again, just due to time constraints, we're really jam packing everything. And so now what's gonna happen? They can't bullshit you like, oh, I gotta move the money around. Like you've told me that like 3 times. Like 3 people are like, yo, bro, I gotta move the money around. I'm gonna get paid, whatever. So if you say, and again, think about it. How many times have you said this? They're like, no, I'm good. Then why the fuck are you not good at the very end?
Yeah.
And so what that means is, bro, you probably have to do more of a tie down here. So really tie this down, really tie this one down. Third one, hey, can you make, they say, yeah, it's me. It's like, okay, cool. Just making sure. And again, I do a tie down with each of these. I do like fucking 2, 3 tie downs. So they say like, no, it's just me. I'm like, okay, cool. So, does your wife, by the way, does she know we're having this conversation? No? Yeah? Okay, cool. I guess like, what were her thoughts? Is she feeling good? Again, I'm just asking because it's important that you have emotional support. Like, blah, blah. Okay, cool, man. So I'm just making sure I'm looking their face value to make sure like, yo, they're not gonna give me any bullshit regarding this. Okay. Now, then we come in here, have you work with the reason this is important is because if they tell you some shit that something happened, then now you can heal them. Like, oh, I see why. This is why that happened, blah, blah, blah. So this is all about healing people. The purpose of this is to get them to try to sell themselves. Like, hey, I really like this thing on the opt-in page, blah, blah, blah. I think we can apply some of that, blah, blah, blah. So this is just getting them to subconsciously sell themselves. Now, here's the part that I didn't go into a lot of detail. I know a lot of what I'm saying, you're probably familiar with it, but here's the part I didn't go into much detail in that video that I created for you. So the question I basically will come in here like, cool. So let's just like go into the discovery section here. Basically, in my experience, if a business is not where they want to be, there's an issue at one of these levels. And again, I'm going to go over this. I'm going to break this down to you with you here in a bit. It's usually an issue at the traffic level, leads, nurturing, sales, celery, or reselling. And so my goal here is to like help you uncover that. I already know what the issue is, but I'm going to try to ask you some Socratic questions so you can kind of come to that same conclusion. So that being said, what do you feel like is not working as well as you think it should be working in your business? Like I guess like what is that core problem? Leads usually. Okay, well, how many leads are you getting? How many leads did you get last month? Okay, well, what did you do for that? How did that go for you? Okay, why not continue to do that? And so the idea here is pain. This whole section is all about getting them to admit what the issue is. So I kind of like listened to a little bit of your sales call and like what you were saying. Hey, your business is broken at multiple of these stages. Your job is to
Have
get
them.
have them say that through their own words during this phase. You got to get them. It's not about you saying to them what the problem is. You got to get them to admit the problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, leads. Like, okay, cool. So if I'm understanding you correctly, it sounds to me like leads is the problem. The reason the leads is the problem is because you're trying this referral system and then you're trying this other system. So you just can't consistently say, hey, look, you know, 10 leads get me this number of revenue, 50 leads, but like I can't predictably have 100 leads. If I could just predictably have 100 leads, then I know I can hit my revenue number. Does that sound about right, Mr. Business? She said, yeah, cool. And the reason we don't have that is because we don't have a consistent traffic source to get those leads, right? We don't have a way to inject those leads in. Like, hey, every input X, we have output Y. Every one input of this, we have 30 leads that come in. We don't have that right now. Am I understanding correctly? Cool. All right. So, like I said, I feel pretty confident about what the issue is. I'm going to share that with you here in a second. But again, I'm just asking these questions because I wanted you to come to the conclusion that your issue is most likely here. Okay. Does that make sense so far? She says, yeah, cool. So that being said, I'm going to share two things with you right now. I'm going to share something I call the 7 9 figure machine, which is just to like make my point. I'm just going to make my point to help you understand why this is where your issue is. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to solve that for you. And so I didn't fully watch what you did here, but like what you have to do is you really have to like do it the way I kind of do it. And I don't think you necessarily did, which is like, all right, cool. So basically, what I want to show you is something I call the 7 9 figure machine. Success leaves behind clues. Apple, Red, Honda, Nike, Adidas, all these big businesses, they have these 6 things within their business. And anytime a business does not have one of these 6 things, they are not able to scale. And so the first one is da da da. So if you look at a business like Apple, they're getting millions and millions and millions of views. Why? Because of TV commercial, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to get eyeballs on it. But keyword here is autopilot. For example, you met me by autopilot. I had an ad and then you saw that and boom, here we are. And so again, you have to make the case. So it's like when it comes to Apple, they're doing that. And so the chances are if Apple, a big company like Apple is doing that and we are doing that, chances are you should probably be doing that as well. So kind of a little bit of a hint. That's kind of the first issue. The second is this. And so here's kind of what I'm saying is here, so this is kind of a mindset unlock. This, I'm saying to you, you should not shoot a gun in the air. Here, I'm saying because there's a thing called gravity, everything that goes up must come down and will hurt somebody. So here I'm using objective proof. I'm using proof. I'm using evidence. According to the Quran, according to the Bible, this is written here. According to gravity, 9.8 meters per second. According to this is all factual truth. Here's the evidence. Look at this big company. Here are the things that they have. This is evidence, not my opinion. These are facts. If you look at, and then they're like, yeah, that's true. Once you say that, now you can say, therefore you should do this. And most likely you're not doing that. Most likely you're just kind of tying these both together. So you need to go through this whole thing and be like, does that all make sense? You understand now why these companies do this? And then they should have like a light bulb moment. You know how like you had a light bulb moment, right? When an issue went through this, like same thing. It should be like, I finally understand why this thing is stuck. Then you go into cool. So I'm glad you understood that and allowed me to give you a little bit of education. What I want to do now is I want to show you specifically what we're going to do to get these 6 things within your business so that you don't have any bottlenecks here. Okay. So he goes, okay, cool. So basically, here's what I built out for you. And when you talk about this, you have to tie it back to them. You most likely did not do this. So you most likely did not talk about like, hey, we're going to do this ad. Here's why. And talk about their personality and what they like or whatever. Make it tied to them. Same thing with this. And then again, you have to use like try to use specific numbers. Right. So you're like again, me and you having a conversation the other day. I'm like, well, how much did you spend? Well, what will happen if you think you spent $500? So when you tie like actual numbers to them, when you tie their actual experience to them, they're going to be more likely to believe this. They're not going to have uncertainty doubt. Right. So step one, you help them uncover and realize what the issue is. So now they're like, yeah, I do think I have an issue there. Step two, you show them an example of a good business. Now they're like, yep, I understand. I understand why this exactly is my issue. Step three, you've shown them how you're going to solve that problem. So that's kind of the journey you have to take people through. You got to get them to admit the problem and see it themselves. Two, you got to give them evidence of what actually needs to be done. And then third, you give them a specific solution. Once you do this, now what happens is you're like, now you have to sit here for a second, right? I don't know if you're going into this again. I would have to really watch your call. But once you go through, you're like, does that all make sense? Yeah. And they have to kind of like, if you do it right, they're gonna sit there. They're not just gonna be like, okay, yeah, talk to me more. They're like, huh, man, that really blows my mind. Kind of like again, your experience watching a six, seven figure, 7 9 figure machine. You're like, damn, they have to have kind of an epiphany at this point. Like, I see how this would help me. And you sit there 5 minutes, you go back and forth with them. Like, cool. So that being said, John, next, I'm almost, and you pace them. I'm almost done. The last thing I want to show you is just like how we'll do this for you day by day. Okay, so day one, here's what we're gonna do. Day two, we're gonna do this. Day two, da da da. And then by week four, here's where we're gonna be. So theoretically, and again, you gotta again try to be specific with your numbers so that they believe you. So it's like, hey, at this point, we're gonna spend 30 to 90 bucks. I think at this point, you're probably gonna have 70 leads, and then out of those 70 leads, you're gonna close this many. So I think at this point, you should probably cash flow about $3,000. And then realistic at this point, we can probably get you to 50. Again, I'm just making shit up. But your job is to be specific, not generic and not general. Okay, and tie it back to their words. And then there, at that point, you sit on this for a little bit. And then you're like, okay, does this make sense? Cool. And then you kind of just go back like, cool. And you know how like over and over again with Jeremy or anybody here, I'm just like, okay, anything else that's top of mind for you? Anything else that's good? And everybody always says some shit. They're like, no, I'm good. What about this? And so we just keep talking, talking, talking. And then once there is actually like silence, I'm like, okay, cool. So that's pretty much it, in terms of this conversation, in terms of the demo. That's pretty much all I've got for you. Uh, and hopefully if they're smart, common sense, they're gonna be like, okay, well, what's the price? I don't like to bring up price. I don't like to. I like them to be like, okay, Kaushik, I'm ready to be intimate with you now. Okay, cool. I let her tell me. I don't like to tell like, hey, it's about to go down. No, no, no. Let her tell me. That's the idea. So if you've done your job correctly, she will tell you. They will tell you, okay, well, what's the price? Can we get into that? And then I'll still say, hey, look, before you get a price, just want to make sure, do you feel 100% certain about this? Like, do you have any questions? Okay, pop, and then I'll joke around. Pop quiz, what are we doing here? Pop quiz, what are we doing here? Because it's super important. There cannot be an uncertainty doubt. There cannot be anything of like, I don't fully understand. If they do not fully understand what they must be doing, you will not sell them. And so I'm pop quizzing to make sure they fully understand this, fully understand this. Then and only then am I going to move forward. And so then I'm not going to run through this too much, but this part you're differentiating yourself. This part, I don't know how well you're doing it. And then this part is so when it comes to the advanced stuff, bro. And so again, this is I'm like kind of Frankenstein, like this stuff was not here before. This stuff was not here before. Even this stuff was not really here before. I basically added this in to for you guys. Honestly, it was just like this stuff here before initially. Um, but in terms of like the advanced stuff, here's what we do. Um, and you'll see why this is important. So again, I'm not necessarily saying to do this because I already feel like I'm throwing in a lot for the 6 figure 6 week sales funnel. So I don't want to throw in too much more. But one thing that we do is this is what we do actually when it comes to financial investment. So this looks a little bit different than your stuff. Your stuff just looks like this. What I do with them, and again, it's only if you want to do it, is what I say is like, all right, cool. In terms of the financial investment, basically, here's what happens next. First, we're gonna go over pricing. You're gonna be hell yeah, hell no. And again, there's a line that sets us up. Before I do any demo, I tell them, hey, I need a hell yeah, hell no. Don't give me a maybe, give me a yes or give me a no. If you give me a no, I'm not gonna twist your arm. If you give me a maybe, that's no bueno. And so they already know. Like I do that before I get into the presentation. So before I get into this, before I get into any kind of teaching, I'm just like, hey, all right, so I know what the problem is in your business. Before I share it with you, I just need you to promise me you're gonna give me a yes or no. This way we're not just going back and forth. No, maybe well, just give me a yes or no. You cool? Then I'll do my song and dance and everything. So I already set up the seed. And because I set up the seed, I set that seed. Now I can come in here and be like, hey, bro, so you're gonna give me a hell yeah, hell no. Why? Because I already said that to them. And he's already agreed. He said, yeah, bro, I'll give you a hell yeah, hell no if you do this presentation, show me what the hell is, all this magic sauce. So you're giving me a hell yeah, hell no. After that, if you give me a no, I'm gonna let you go. If you give me a yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna transact. And I actually literally pull up the page. So I'll pull up the sales page so they can see it. I don't show the number. I just pull up the sales page to subconsciously show them, hey, you're gonna make the transaction today, not later, not tomorrow, today. Then I show them after that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a kickoff form. Again, this is a kickoff. I show them a kickoff form that they're gonna fill out. Then I show them, you're gonna do this. We're gonna get inside Slack, and then we're gonna do onboarding. And I literally take them to onboarding, just like you're onboarding with me. I literally show them, here's what we're gonna do, da 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 da. And so what happens is now subconsciously, after you show this to them, people in their mind are like, okay, I know exactly what's gonna happen. A lot of people, they're just like, they don't think about this stuff. And so when you mention the price, now they have analysis like, oh man, what's going to happen after that? Am I getting scammed? Blah, blah, blah. If I go over this, now she's like, all right, I know exactly what's about to go down. I feel safe. Okay, let's be intimate. So I'm just like saying all the stuff that's going to happen. And then here is the, again, this is all psychological warfare, but this is high level too. So now what I'm doing is now I'm telling them, all right, cool. So before I get into pricing, just really quick, again, you have currently access to $1,500 liquid for us to be able to run ads. Why is this important? The reason this is important is because we said at the very, very beginning, but now we've taken them through this whole emotional roller coaster that by the time they're here, they've forgotten about that. So they can still give you some bullshit of, oh, I got to move money around. I'm literally going over this right before I bring up the price because they cannot say any bullshit to me. Then I go, cool. Now, is there anything that's stopping us from filming on Thursday for you? Again, I just want to make sure we're good to go. I know we've done a lot of, talking, all this stuff. I just want to make sure we're still good to go for Thursday. Yeah. Cool. And then again, are you capable of making this decision? Again, it's just me and you. Or do we need to bring somebody else on? I know we've gone over a lot. If you want, I'm happy to bring somebody else. At this point, people are emotionally exhausted. They're like, bro, just give me the price. I don't want to have a whole nother sales call. Then I do all this stuff, products you get, support you get, FAQs, and then I bring up the price. So this is the more advanced version, but this is what we're doing there so that they don't hit us with any bullshit. Um, so yeah, I know I just like walked through the whole shebang with you. Questions?
No questions, man. There's a lot. I mean, the more than anything, I'm just gonna have to review my calls and see the things that I need to fix. There's a lot that I am doing, um, similar to like exactly what you're saying. So I'm always trying to make sure that they understand what step we're in, and confirming a lot of stuff like that too, or tying things back to them and their business. But there's a lot of little nuances that's most likely the reason why they would have so much uncertainty, even if it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If I what I think would be good, bro, is you again, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if you just close a deal here like within, a day or two. But what I'd like to do, man, is I like to just like run through one. Like I said, I think that would help you out a lot. Um, you might not need one, you might just close before then, but ideally if I get one where I can see their face, that's kind of the other big things I do need to see their face, bro. That would help. So the next call that you have, I don't know if you can maybe do that on Zoom. I don't know if you have access to the full version of Zoom, but if you could, so I can see their face, that would help me out a lot. Again, I don't know if it's a good lead. Who do you have a sales call with right now?
The one for the Asian dance center thingy. I think I'm
Oh,
to your dance center.
that was like one of the first leads.
One of the first leads, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a really good one, bro. Like you can actually help those people out, and it's pretty simple. You just run messenger ads for them, and yeah, ads work really well for dance studios and gymnastics studios for kids. So, but yeah, it's hard. I can't tell you specific what the issue is until I watch a full thing, and I can be very specific with you.
Yeah.
And that will help you out. But what else, bro? Anything else top of mind that you want to go over?
No, that's it, man. I appreciate you running through that again. Those repetition really help. So I appreciate that. And I just got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Oh, I did. I don't know if you saw my update in terms of like the overall game plan, bro. I know you gotta get going. But I did re-type this stuff out. Did you get a chance to see this or not
I
yet?
did, yeah, right before. And I was doing
Yeah.
the Excel too.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought about this again. I do this all the time. I will sit there again, same thing with you initially about a month ago where I told you my initial plan and I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, no, it's not gonna work out based off reason. Same thing. So I thought about what we talked about and I realized the issue is gonna be I know how long this is gonna take. Like about 2-3 years ago when I initially did this coaching program, I started it. I would get people to do this kind of strategy, like going through your list or whatever. But what I found is over and over again, bro, just running ads for people is the best way to help them make money. And you're just gonna, it's hard to get enough volume in. Ads is the only way to get volume in and learn fast. And you have to learn fast. You have to figure things out. So if we're like going through that list and one by one, it's just gonna be months before we see any sizable returns. So what I'm simply saying is after you close a deal, initially I was thinking you close the deal and you get, you help them get results, but it's like I think it's gonna be better for me to just give you a proven niche, proven everything, and then you just launch that bad boy, close a few deals, get to like 5 grand a month, real fast within a month. And then what's gonna happen is you're gonna have the headspace for us to be figuring this out.
Okay.
That's what I think is gonna be much smarter, much better for you. So it's like, let's close a deal fast. As soon as we close a deal, depending on what that is, mostly we'll still refund them. And then I'm gonna give you a niche fund. I already have a niche in mind for you, by the way. I'll share that with you. Obviously, you're willing to do whatever you want to do, but I already have a niche that I know I'm gonna be able to get you book calls really cheap, and I know exactly how to get those people results. Like you just have to follow directions. And I think that would be good for you. I think it's not that you're not gonna learn, you're gonna learn a bunch of shit. It's not gonna take away from you, but it's just like I want you to get to a place where you're able to be have a mindset where you're stable and not worried about money, because then we're going to be able to focus on these kinds of things.
That sounds good. Okay, we
Um,
can do that. So
okay,
yeah, I like that game plan.
cool. All right, bro. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, so I know you gotta go prep. Anything else I can do for you, bro?
Nothing, man. I appreciate you guys. So you guys, I guess we'll talk later on.
Yep, yep. Sounds good, bro. All right, bro.
See you, fellas. Take it easy.
All right. So Aiden and Righteous, we can just talk, and then I think I'll probably go to Riviera and then Jorge. Um, so I guess like I guess like Aiden, give me like specifics on like what's going on. Give me an update on what's going on in your admin.
Yeah, so Tyler, let me pull up what I typed out as well. Yeah, so uh Tyler hasn't gotten back to me about there's one of those leads that he had a sales call with that was kind of I was like, oh yeah, get back to me on Monday, and then he's like, I'll let me call you tomorrow, kind of thing. After he followed up on Monday, and nothing's really happened with that one. And basically, yeah, I think I mentioned this to you. I think that Tyler was just super excited and ready to go and be a salesperson until he like brought up the idea of doing a 50-50 split again, which he was super jazzed about, and I wasn't completely as jazzed about. And so he like, I honestly, I think he got butthurt. I think he was bummed out that I wasn't as enthusiastic about it, or that I was having second thoughts. You can kind of tell. I was, yeah, I was pretty obvious that I was like, yeah, well, let's see how it goes, kind of a thing, instead of just jumping right into 50-50. But so I think with that, he went back to Ayrton and started to get hyped up about his own business model because there wasn't as much to be hyped up with over here. And yeah, I don't know. I was going to try to set up some calls for him, but I didn't have time to, and I'm glad that I didn't commit any time to that anyways, because yeah, I don't know. I guess what are your thoughts there? Like something that I've thought of is I'm like, if I didn't have to take any phone calls, like for me, that would be amazing. I think I've accepted this about myself that I really hate doing phone calls. Um, like I hate it so much. So like to me, that might be worth doing 50% if I never had to make a phone call ever again. I don't know. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but
So so here's what I would say is we need momentum,
yeah.
right? We need to build some momentum. If you could, I mean, what happened with Cam before I say anything? Like, is it like just some that was thrown in the air, or is it like something that Aman and you and Cam are going to take seriously? Like, walk me through that conversation so I know, is it serious? If it's serious, well, then I would encourage you for us to like go down that path potentially. If it's not serious, then we have to talk about Tyler and kind of what some of my initial thoughts are in terms of like what is like, okay, I'm worried about this. Or
Yes. So basically with Aman and Cam, I followed up with him again today because he had sent me a text or he sent me a screenshot of what Cam had sent him. Basically, like Cam thought it was interesting. Um, let's see. Not sure if it makes sense just because like he does want to focus on what they've got going primarily, which makes sense to me. But he's also like, let's see, Almond said he seemed excited about it. Basically, just like setting aside a couple hours a day in his day to lead, potentially have for some of these booked calls coming through. So I followed up with him today, and he's like, yeah, he's still down for it. Basically, just send us some more info on everything, and kind of we'll go from there. Let's see, what did he say? Yeah, basically just wants to see like how much time is this going to take? Like what is this going to look like in that regard for him? And so I was like, for him, like I would be willing to do more sales calls or sorry, discovery calls for because I am pretty damn confident in his ability to close, especially if it's same, it's almost the same presentation, just like slightly different niche, you know?
So,
Um,
so I heard two things. One thing I heard was I'm not sure if this makes sense for me, and then two, it was like I'm interested. So which one? It sounds like initially he said I'm not sure if this is going to make sense for me because I want to focus on my duck stuff, and then it sounds like later he was like, no, I'm somewhat interested. I'm confused there.
Sorry, yeah, yeah. So basically, bottom line is they're, they want to keep focusing on duct cleaning, but they're open to trying it out and seeing how it goes. And yeah, that's it. Just trying it out. See how it
So
goes.
here, so the problem with Tyler is one is I again I'm all for speed. I like I said the wedding stuff. I know that if you just did it, you'd make some money. To me, it's very obvious. When it comes to Tyler, this is kind of what I was telling you a few weeks back. I'm like, okay, the issue that you're gonna have is you're saying Tyler's great, but I don't. I measure things based off of I have to see it myself. So I haven't seen a sales call. If you gave me a sales call, I could tell you. Like, do you have a sales call by any chance? Do you have those
I
two?
have one. I've got one, yeah.
Can you just give it to me? Can we just like have a look real quick?
Let me I have it in a Zoom. Let me see if I can find it. I have it in a Zoom. Somehow I
Would I
have it.
be able?
How do you want me to get it to you? I've got it downloaded to my computer as like a video, and then I've got it in a Zoom downloaded thing.
Oh, it's like a Zoom recording, like a long. Oh shit! You might have to upload it to YouTube.
Okay, all right. I'll work on that.
Yeah. So if you need to write something now, step one, get that downloaded, upload that, and then I'll just give you my initial thoughts. Step two is reach out to Aman and Cam and just say, hey, look, here's my situation. I just need to get a proven sales script. I don't expect you to take a bunch of sales calls and do a whole thing because I know you guys are focused on that. I'm just really struggling with sales, and I can set up a few sales calls for you, and I'd be happy to just give you 50% of what you close them for. And so again, your dollar per hour, and it's important that you explain that to Cam is like, hey, your dollar per hour, I'm happy to give you whatever that is, which is probably like great for you guys in terms of dollars per hour. And again, that's just going to be a win-win for us. Make you some very easy, fast money. And then for me, it's going to give me a proven script. At that point, if you want to do more, I'm happy to give you more. Or at that point, I think I'll have what I need. I'll be able to maybe go try to find a sales rep. That's what I would do. And I would get Cam to because I trust him. I don't necessarily trust Tyler until I see a call and I know. If that doesn't work, then with Tyler, um, it's gonna sound controversial right now, but like you're better off. So step one, you're best off with Cam. Your second best off is gonna be with Tyler. Your third best off is gonna be exploring other salespeople. So I would still say with Tyler, I'm kind of peeved off for you, based off of like this interaction going back and forth. But like I think what would make sense, even with Tyler, is being like, hey, look, dude, here's a deal. Thought about it over. Look, I can't make any promise. I don't know what the future is. But what I do want to do is I want to lead with just giving you 50% of the deals that you do close, at least for the first three. And then I'll reassess and kind of figure out. And why do you need that? The reason you need that, dude, is for us to have a proven script, a proven process. Just know, like, hey, if I just say it this way, if I just do it this way, boom. And then at that point, you can reassess and you can try to work Tyler down, or two, we can try to go find a sales rep or something. Worst case scenario, you have him on for 50-50 for like a 3 month contingency or 6 month contingency or some shit. You're not saying so. Step one, try to get after Cam if you can. Step two, we go after Tyler and try to do like three calls and just see, hey, let's just see where it goes. I'm not making any promises, but like I'm happy to give you 50% for that. And your dollar per hour would probably be like substantial. Like you probably that's probably the easiest money you make. After that, we have one of two branches. Okay. With Tyler, either we keep Tyler and do 50% for like 3 to 6 months, and you have to be hauling ass to find another sales rep in the meantime, or two, you just try to find another sales rep. To be honest with you, I honestly think having Tyler and doing 50% with him for like 1 to 3 months while you figure out another sales rep is probably a smart move. You're kind of fucking him, but I don't see any other way you can do it. So hopefully that makes sense. Cam, step one, try to get him to do 1 to 3. From there, we can reassess, figure out what we need to do from there. With Tyler, if you do move forward with him, because we need to, again, I want to give you my feedback. I want to tell you like what I think of his sales stuff. But within 10 sales calls, his first three, give him 50% and kind of say, hey, we'll reassess from there. And then if you have to keep him on for 3 months, keep him on for 3 months. Still better than nothing. Yeah. Those are my kind of my initial thoughts, dude.
100%. I like that.
Um,
That makes
what are your,
sense.
what are your thoughts, man?
No, I like it. I feel the same way about. I actually almost said that to Aman. Um, uh, Saying something like, I'm just struggling in sales and my client acquisition. I've got everything else dialed in. It's just this one thing, and so I can pay you guys, very well for the time that you do spend on this. And then after we have a proof of concept and like a script that we know works, then we can go from there, and we don't have to take up any more of your guys' time if you don't want it to. So I was thinking of that as well. And then with Tyler, that makes sense. And I think that, yeah, if he knows that even if it is for like a limited time, like the I think he'd be down for that.
Yeah, 'cause it's like just it's for him, it's like, hey man, I'm just gonna make some fast money real quick. So I think he would be like, hey man, this is kind of like I'm kind of being outsourced or like commissioned out for this thing. Why not? Just have a few conversation, make a few grand from that. Like, why not?
100%.
Um, cool. But yeah, I would be doing that definitely over like trying to like look inside communities and stuff like that because that's your other option. That's literally it. Like when you're talking about like where to go, it was that video that I shared with you, which is like you got to go into these groups, reach out to these people, and I don't know. At that point, I feel like you're just talking to a bunch of people that have taken a course on how to be a sales rep and have never actually done it themselves. And so, like, good luck there.
I mean, I'm actually pretty well connected to some solid salespeople. Like, at my like two of my clients have just absolute insane salespeople. Whether or not they'd be willing to do sales for me is another thing, but like, I know that I would trust that those killer salespeople would be connected to other killers.
Right.
And so, I'm already kind of scoping things out a little bit with them. I need to do some more scoping out, but I don't know. Yeah, just in case.
Do that. Do that. That's a good use of your time, dude. 100% go through your connects and see, who's there. And I would just, you have to kind of feel them out and see like, hey, are you looking for a full-time thing or are you like, because like, okay, you're gonna have Hormozy talks about this. A lot of high-level people are talking about this is like a good sales rep is not going to be free. A good sales rep is already hired by somebody, right? The only people that are not working are the people that are like, because a good sales rep, man, is like that girl that's a 9 or a 10. Like she's never single, dude. She's always got somebody. Um, everybody wants a good sales rep. And so if I were you, I would just be, putting out feelers and trying to get conversations going with people. And you have to feel it out. I was like, if are they that type of person that's like for example, like Cam. Cam's going to be one of those, right? Where he's like super busy already. He's got his own thing. So it's like it's hard to get them too close for you. It's hard because he's already doing his own thing. And so with people like him, you just got to lead with like, hey, look, we're just like trying to figure this thing out. We figure out, we got a lot of things going for us, but just sales is an issue. Would you be willing to just take a few sales calls and I'm just happy to give you 50% of whatever you bring in. You have literally nothing else you have to do. And then after that, if you want to hang out and talk some more, we can certainly do that. But I have no expectation. I just want somebody to come in there and just close a few deals for me. So that would be my energy towards those people that are like on, like they're already busy, they already got shit working for them, versus these other people, the ones that don't have an opportunity. I think those are the people that are going to talk to you like Tyler, which is like, hey man, I want this, I want that. They're thinking long term. So you just have to be mindful of that. And again, with those people, I would still make them the same offer. Like, cool, yeah, I totally understand. I'm open to, long-term relationship and all these things. For you, I would just say the first three calls, let's just see how things go with those first three calls. If you can close them, I'm happy to happily compensate you. What do you think is fair? And kind of let them tell you. Let them tell you. They might tell you like 20, 30%. Cool. Anything, I would say I would be willing to pay 50%. If I were you and you find somebody, I would at this point, I would be willing to pay 50% for like the first three sales. First three sales. I would be willing to. Because right now we need proof of concept, we need a proven script.
100%.
So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, that's a good use of your time, man. A lot better use of your time than the 6 figures in 6 weeks sales one, I would say.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I'm excited. The something that was kind of fun that I was doing is because I've got a couple people that I'm talking to is I was like almost it was almost like a mechanism video, but for like somebody going through sales. So I was like going through all the results. Something else that I've been doing recently as well is as a part of this, going through like results, I have access to actually more like of my clients' CRMs than I realized, like House Call Pro or Jobber or something. Like one of my fencing guys, we made him like 150 plus grand, with less than $5,000 worth of ad spend. Or like a garage door guy, made him 3 grand, and I've only gotten through like the first like 10 leads in the first week that we were working with him. So it's like really fun to go through that and kind of get that conviction again, despite not having any income from at the end of all this stuff, like it's cool to see that conviction, like this shit does freaking work. But I don't know. I guess do you have any thoughts there? So like basically what I'm doing is I'm making a mechanism video that's like from the perspective to transfer this conviction that I have to the salesperson. Like, look, this works. Here's a little bit of how it works without like I guess going into too much detail. Just being like, look, these are the results we get for these people and that people. Like, any thoughts there? I guess.
The main purpose of a video like that wouldn't necessarily be like for the sales reps. It would just be more for the person that is going to get on the call with the sales reps.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, like,
I
and
hear so I agree with both Aiden and Mason. Um so when it comes to showing people results like that, you know what it's good for? It's not good for acquiring talent, it's good for retaining talent.
Yeah.
So you have a sales rep and they close for you. And so this was again what Hormozy would do, right? He would show every fucking day results from clients that they have. Why? Because that would give them conviction to sell harder.
Yeah.
So that's good for that. But in terms of like acquiring a new salesperson, they don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
What if I were you, what I would do is I would probably just create like a video, like a mechanism, be like, hey, so here's a deal, here's what we do. We have a very simple ad setup. And then these are getting calls booked in. We are easily able to get up to 3 sales calls booked in, even more if you'd like. If you're somebody that can handle 5, we can happily do 5 for you. But basically there's an ad, people will click on it, comes into your calendar, and then from there we have a very simple script for you to follow. You walk through the script. It's about an hour long conversation, and we would expect you to close probably 1 out of 5 deals. So let's just say theoretically you have 3 deals, 3 calls a day. You on your second day you would most likely have closed your second call. So at this point you've talked for 6 hours and you've collected $2,000. Not a bad deal. 2,000 divided by 6 hours. I don't know. What is that? Like 700, $300 an hour. That's what we're looking at. See that energy, see that language, that would sell that person. And then
Yeah.
in terms of obviously what we're selling, here's what we actually do. I know stuff will probably put you to sleep, but basically we run ads for businesses. Here's so and so. We basically generate X amount of revenue for him. We generate X amount of revenue for this person, just X for this person. So we're pretty good at what we do. What we're looking for is we're looking for our person to, alley-oop the ball. We want to alley-oop them to you. We want you to slam them in. That's all we're looking for. So if you're somebody that likes talking to people, then and wants to sell a great product, then we're your people. We sell a great product. We just need some people to go out there and make some sales for us. So that's kind of the energy, I think.
that makes sense. Amin and Cam were wondering their main question. And I will say, I think this is because Amin and I had already talked about the results that I had been getting for contractors. And so he already had that as context. Like when we were going over that, he was literally like, and this is a lot of people, when they hear the results that people are getting, they're like, dude, what? And they're like, holy crap, wow. And then, but then their next thing was, hey, how many leads are you getting? How many discover calls are you getting? How many sales calls? Things like that. And so,
But
yeah,
what they ask you specifically, like, well, so I guess like what's Cam and Amon's hang up? Like, what are they looking for from you? Like when they say send us more information, what are they looking for?
um, well, what Amon was looking for, or I guess what Amon was sending me that they were looking for was just like, hey, yeah, send us. They wanted to know how many leads we were getting, how many discovery calls, sales calls, and things like that. I think they wanted to understand like, and we hadn't even talked about whether or not Cam would be doing discovery calls or not. Um, it was still like relatively fresh. Um,
Gotcha. I think so. To me, it sounds like the way he's like asking these questions, it sounds almost like a long-term relationship. And so if I were you, I would just create I can reach out and be like, hey, Aiden's going to reach out to both of you guys. We spoke a little bit on our call. I'll talk to him for you. Like, hey, so Aiden's going to reach out to both of you guys, just a heads up. And then from there, if I were you, I would just be like, hey guys, just drop in some information below, information that you might be interested in. But really, man, what I can just do is just like set you guys up with some sales calls. So if you just give me Cam's calendar link, I will just set some calls up for him and then give you my sales script, and then you guys can just have at it, tweak it, do whatever it is that you guys want to do, honestly, and just give them free reign. Don't stress them out too much. Don't let them have to think about things too much. Just let them have fun. That's it. You just give them the calls and let him do his thing.
Yeah, totally. And so I guess I'll tell you what I've sent them already. So let's see what he was. Let me try the transcript here so I don't have to. I think they wanted to see, yeah, like a little bit more of like the slides. And I told them like, hey, and I didn't tell them this before, but I told them earlier today before I sent over like a little video that kind of ran through everything. I was like, hey, look, this is like literally already like what Cam is doing. It's just tweaked a little bit for, kitchen remodelers instead of, and some of the clients and results that we've had instead of, that. Um, and how many sales calls I would expect, how much time it'll take. Yeah, it seems like they're looking at time, how many sales calls and things like that. So I did send them a quick video that kind of like ran through a couple of those details, like, hey, here's how these slides are a little bit different. Here's who we're selling to. Um,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, go ahead and answer this. I think the main thing, if I were in your shoes, just like letting them know, hey, guys, you guys have free reign. Just whatever
yeah.
you guys think would work, I'm open to letting you guys just have fun with this. So whatever you need from me, you let me know. If you need me to tweak something, if you need me to give you something, let me know.
Yeah, and I did tell them that with the closing at the very least, where I'm like, when you look at the numbers, like let's say average kitchen remodel is 30 grand. We'll be conservative, say so 30 grand. And their profit revenue is, or their profit margin is kind of lower, tw or average is 25%. So that's like 7,500 for kitchen remodel. It's like if they get four of those, that's 7,500 times four times in pure profit. And like 5,000 a month is going to be not that much, And so I'm like, I told them, I was like, if you're able to sell them on 5,000 a month, I'm like, I'll give you, 3,000 of that, whatever the hell you freaking want. If I can cover the costs to acquire the lead for that first month, I don't care what happens as long as because I can keep them, hooked on for at least a few months after that. And so anyways, I told them, I was like, charge whatever you want, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I don't care for that first month, or like per month. So I told them that, but I'll let them know with the free range stuff. If you want to reach out to them, you can. But yeah.
Okay. What do you think would help for me to reach out to them with? I do you have anything in particular that you want me to say, or anything that?
I don't have anything in particular. I feel like we're pretty all right. At this point, like it's just gonna be, I don't know, I guess just like setting it up like, hey, give me Cam's calendar link and I can set stuff up, stuff like that. So just waiting to hear back from Aman and that's about it.
When did
I
you
don't
start
know.
the conversation with them?
Was that?
Did you guys start this conversation?
Yeah, so we were doing it was when we were meeting about med spa stuff. This is probably like a week or two ago. And we were just talking casually, talking about like how things are going. And I think he was asking about contractors. And then he made like some kind of joke or some kind of remark about like, oh, I wonder what, it makes me think about Cam, what he could do if, I don't know, some joke about Cam closing these leads. And I was like, you know what, actually, I've had a similar thought. Like, well, you think you guys might be open to that or something like that? And just kind of kept going from there. So I was in the middle of a completely, that med spa call that we
Okay. So like in terms of like seriously pursuing it about a week ago or like 3 days ago or 5 days ago, I'm just kind of wondering how fast, because I'm trying to decide how fast is this gonna take like 2 3 weeks? Because then it's like, okay, well, we need to focus on Tyler then, or is it something like you think can be like figured out within like the next few days, um based off the speed of the conversation so far?
Yeah, so we initially met and kept talking about it Friday, October 31st on Halloween, and then reached out about it again this morning. And we've been pretty like we were a lot faster about getting back to each other back and forth today. I think it could happen in the next few days.
Okay, that's it then. Just then in that case, I mean, if you want me to reach out, I can reach out to those. But it sounds to me like, within a few days you'll have it figured out. And you'll know whether you're doing it or not with them. So I just do that, keep pushing that, and just be flexible, give them free reign, let them do what they need to do. Those guys know what they're doing. Okay. Cool, man. So yeah, just keep me posted on that, and then try to get me Tyler stuff so I can have a look at that for, in case we need, backup. And yeah. And then keep, searching through your community, like all the different people you have, like that. Those are kind of the three things you should be focused on, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, anything else, man? Top of mind?
No, I am. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm talking with another buddy of mine already. He was part of why I was late to the call. Um,
You said you were talking to a sales guy.
yeah, yeah, potential sales guy. He's an old buddy of mine, and he's been in sales his entire career. It's all he does is look for. Yeah, so I don't know. He's got some good perspective. I showed him this video of me walking through everything, including results for other clients, and he was getting excited. He's like, I think there's really something here. It's just a matter of, systematizing it. Kind of like what we're talking about is like we just need a proof of concept, some script to be able to sell and repeat and things like that. So I don't know. I'm gonna be he actually was the one talking to me about going out and getting his own leads to bring and getting a higher commission based off of that. And so that might be something that I set up with him and try out with him where it's like, hey, here's these case studies from all these different trades and niches. Go out and reach out to fencing contractors in all these other states, especially southern ones right now where it's warmer. It's not snowing, So yeah, I don't know. There could be some potential there as well.
Okay. Um, yeah. What do you mean though by like sending him to like go out and generate leads for himself? Like, why would you ask him to do that?
Sending DMs and texts and emails, kind of like with the free to fee stuff, but not free. Uh, just because we have I guess there's a couple ways. In my mind, the system works, and we have all these things as proof that it does work. And so it's just like, I know it's not the free to fee method, but anyways, the idea is just like, yeah, like we don't have to just the idea of cold outreach, I guess, as in terms of lead generation and um
Do you
yeah.
think he's willing to do that? 'Cause he sounds more like a closer, right?
Yeah, he'd be willing to. It kind of surprised me that he was the one bringing that up to me, but he was also coming at it more of from the perspective of like as a closer, if I bring somebody that's not brought to the company, like I should get more of a commission from that. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's a lead that I didn't have to pay for, so like you can, I
Gotcha.
don't know.
Gotcha.
Anyways,
Yeah,
so yeah, that was just something that he brought up.
okay. Um, yeah, I, I hear what you're saying. I don't think that's a bad idea for sure. If you don't have cost per acquisition, you're just got a sales rep going out there, march in, generate leads, sales, like heck yeah. Um, I probably I would keep it, in my back pocket for you because there's so much you have to already do, which is, this Aman thing and this Tyler thing, and our attention will probably be there. Um, and so if you have to like talk to somebody like, hey man, so how many leads did you get? Or what's your traffic source? Or what do you, and just like somebody that you have to like kind of sort of babysit. I don't know. That's going to cost you more time and energy. I think that maybe you don't have right now. Um,
Yeah, the way that I look at it, I think that if I like, you have a few training videos that I think are really good. I think there's a few, ways to like, I've got like lead sniper that I can set. I don't know that I would set them up on my lead sniper, but like I can get giant lists of leads for them to do similar stuff like we were doing for free to fee and stuff. I don't know. And then just to me, I see it as just like how do we tweak the script to make it as effective as possible because we have this system that works. And I know that people are going to be like suspicious or they're just not going to respond or whatever, low response rate. But um, I don't know. I just see like the
talk about
winning system.
You're, you're talking about tweaking up the free to feed system for him.
Something like that, but not like free, not offering it for free, but just like reaching out like that, where you're like, hey, do you do fencing in this area? Um,
Mhm.
like in your course, you've got, a few different videos on how to reach out to leads for free, and you talk about DMing business owners, right? And that's just that same idea. DMs, texts, you know, and perfecting that formula with the system, like the contractor ads that we have, I guess. To me, it's just a matter of dialing that in.
If I were you, if you wanted to get him to do that, the tweak that I would make is because okay, let's just say he finds those people, then the issue is then going to be you're running the ads for free, and then you're following up and all this stuff. The tweak that I would make is just say, hey, look, would you be open to doing a free trial, right? For us to just get you some results for a week. And then the idea is instead of us forking over the cash to run the ads and whatever happens, get him to hop on a sales call and get him to close them for like $500 just for
Yeah.
that. So it's like, hey,
Hmm.
we just need you to pay $500 for the ads and we get you these results. And then from there, if you want to move forward, great. If not, no worries.
100%.
That's what I would do if I were you. And then, so that should not cost you too much time and energy if you pursued that.
Yeah, that's kind of that. Actually, we talked about the exact same thing. So,
Okay, cool, cool, cool. We're on the same page then. Um, what else is top of mind, man?
that's pretty much about it. Just anxious to get something figured out here, But
I know, man. I feel your pain, dude. I feel your pain. When was the last time you ran any ads for your funnels? Has it been like a month or so?
been about a month, yeah.
Okay.
So,
I don't know, man. So Estelon, he's not here right now, but I think he's pretty good at closing. I'm not saying anything yet, but I know Estelon's position, and I'm trying to make him some cash fast. And so I'll see what happens when it's time to niche down. But it's possible that I throw Estelon in with you or Righteous or both. I don't know. Um, to get him to do some sales stuff. I don't know. We'll see. He hasn't proven himself yet, but I know him personally. Like I actually met him in Columbus. I've known him for years. So we'll see what happens. And then if he's open to it, maybe we'll explore that conversation. But we'll see.
totally, dude. And I don't know, if he wants to run an agency, like, this is a little overkill, but like, I was thinking, oh, I've got proven system for fencing, for epoxy, for all these trades I'm thinking of coming out of my mind where I'm like, just take any of them and run with it, dude. Like, just
Yeah.
niche off of one of these things if you want. I don't care.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll see. I think you're hearing about, 2 weeks time, I'll talk to him and kind of see where his head's at. And because I know that's where you guys are struggling, you and Righteous in terms of sales. So maybe you can lend a hand there. We'll see. But anything else, man?
No, no, I'm good. I'm curious to hear about what you and Righteous have been talking about in terms of salespeople too. So,
Well, we haven't really been talking. This is the first time we're talking. It just turns out that you guys are both kind of in a similar place. Where, I think the solution for both of you guys is we got to bring somebody else on. So I don't have anything for you other than like what's in that video, honestly. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is, do you have any like groups that you're part of where there's salespeople in there, like car dealerships? Like, do you have anybody that you can reach out to, like, hey, is there anybody here that wants a sales thing? I think posting in some Facebook groups, that's like the traditional thing, like posting in Facebook groups where there's salespeople. There's posting inside the Center Marketing Cheat Code Facebook group. Um, these are a few things in terms of like finding a sales rep. Um, but yeah, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like salespeople, like I may have like I got a lot of people in the car business. Some might not still be, but I can kind of see, where their head is at and, if they be open to kind of checking it out. My thing would be, if I do find somebody at that level, it's like, just training them up and stuff like that. And I'm like, how can I train somebody if I'm the one who needs to bring somebody on for the sales? So, um, but I can look into the group, like the Facebook groups and stuff like that. Like I'm in the one for Go High Level, and they post a ton of stuff in there, like updates, and all that stuff. So I can kind of see if, anybody would be interested in there as well. Um, but trying
In
to think.
terms in terms of like sales, like training and stuff, again, if Aiden was to bring in Tyler or something, I think that's maybe me reviewing, one or two calls from your closer, one or two from Aiden's, and then that would basically give him a little bit of training. Again, I can't be a full-time salesperson, sales, director or anything, but I can at least like usually what I found is if I review one or two sales calls for somebody, they're usually like pretty good in terms of like knowing what they need to do. If there's somebody that's already talented, right? I can't take a 3 to a 10, but if you give me somebody that's like a 7 or an 8, I can usually take them to a 10 by reviewing like one sales call. So it's about you going out there and just finding somebody and just being like, hey, here's a proven script, here's a proven thing, and then giving them like maybe one of Cam's calls, giving them maybe one of my calls, and just be like, hey, free reign, we're gonna kind of like let you do your thing, and you just kind of have to cross your fingers and hope you got a good one, right? Straight up. Because if you're not closing yourself, it becomes hard to like, know what to say or train somebody. All you can do is just kind of give them a proven script and that's giving them Cam stuff, giving them my stuff. And just seeing if they perform. Like give them a few calls to perform.
Got you. Um, no, that
So
makes
I think the idea is when you initially have that conversation with them, you're seeing like, hey man, what's your current sales background? And then you ask a few questions and see how they treat you and see like, okay, is this person worth giving a shot to, or like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So you have to kind of be that initial judge of that to see if you're gonna give somebody a shot.
okay. Mm, Yeah, I mean that's pretty much like the only thing for me really is just getting somebody on. But now I see what you're saying. Just making sure, what their background is, where their headspace at, and of course how they treat me. Because if we don't get along, then it's not going to be a good relationship. So, um,
You should be able to tell based off the interaction with you, like, hey, this person seemed like he knows how to sell or not. Right. Um, so yeah. I wish I had more advice for you, but this is new territory for me as well. Aiden and Righteous in terms of like bringing on a sales rep and stuff like that. Mason's got a little bit more experience with that, but they hire setters, not necessarily salespeople. Mason, do you have any advice for them in terms of going out there and finding some salespeople?
Look into a company called Sales.io. One of the owners' name is JJ Hernandez. I'm not like best friends with him, but I know him like personally. But if you reach out and say, hey, I'm in a program that Mason is in, and he recommended me to go to you in terms of sales reps, um, just kind of name drop my name and then just say you're looking for a closer and then see what you can do. But yeah, his name is JJ Hernandez.
thanks, Mason.
Yep.
What was it called? Sales what?
Sales.io.
Sales.io.
Yeah.
I would if I were you guys. Mason means well, and it's probably great advice, but just don't pay for a sales rep right now. Like if it's anything like Cole Gordon's program, where he's usually what they do is they sell to people that want to be closers and then they connect closer to you guys and they make a spread off of everybody. So, that's the problem with that is like you might get somebody that, doesn't have a whole bunch of, again, I don't know, Mason, Mason, you obviously that's your buddy, you know what they do, but I just personally would not be paying for somebody. You already got to cover the fucking ad spend. It's already expensive as it is.
Yeah. So like what he did for me, I actually didn't end up hiring anyone, but basically what he did for me was he said he'll send you a form and basically you just tell him what it is you do, all that type of different stuff, and then he posts it inside of his community that he teaches, and then he'll get people to like apply for your offer, and they'll send you like a Loom video over, and then basically you just kind of like watch the Loom videos, and then you just get to pick which person.
Gotcha. If yeah, I mean, yeah. If my thing is just like with you, Righteous and Aiden, just be careful, don't I would not suggest you guys pay for somebody right now. I think it makes sense at a certain point, but probably maybe not right now. I think that's a little bit of a gamble.
Yeah, commission only for sure. I don't think again, I don't know exactly what he would offer you guys, but if it's commission only and it doesn't hurt, he's got sales reps looking for people. They're all trained up, so especially like Aiden, if you're gonna offer like 20, 30%, like they'll jump on that pretty quick, especially if you're like selling a 5K package, you know what I mean?
100%. Mason, thanks for sharing, bro. Cool.
Do you guys know anything about Joel Kaplan's agency lab? Because that was kind of an offer that they were running. Their Facebook ads aren't, or their Facebook reviews aren't great. But like they were advertising there for a long time to basically like, and actually, I don't know, it sounds kind of wild and because it sounds too good to be true to me, I think, but it's like, if you're a marketer, they advertised, at least they used to years ago, that they will, help you niche down. They'll generate, leads for you. They'll help you, close these deals and things like that. And I was thinking about that. I was like, if they're decent enough at closing, like I've got everything else now, but I don't know, I don't know anything really about them.
I think they shut it down, dude.
Probably. It looks like, yeah.
I don't know. I think Joel's really good about teaching like the basics, but then I don't know. I don't think there's enough support there in terms of like that kind of stuff, giving you sales reps and this and that.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. Look into it. I think I saw something about Joel Kaplan saying that he shut it down. That's why I don't know for sure. I haven't seen any marketing ads, YouTube videos about him promoting that for a while. So maybe they still run it. But even if they still run it, knowing Joel, he's just doing that as a cash grab. He's not putting time and energy in that shit. So I don't know. I don't know. I like Mason's idea. Mason, again, thank you for sharing that, dude. I like what he said, and that's the route that I would probably go, actually. So, but yeah, Righteous Aiden, anything else regarding this topic? Okay.
No.
Okay, cool. Let's see, who else do we got? I think Riviera, we got you next, man. How are you doing, dude?
Yeah, doing well. Yeah, just yeah, coming from that scare of that was a first. I've never been asked for a refund in 5 years. I've actually done any type of business. So, I mean, I'm sure other people have very early on, but I just never have. So thanks for helping me with that experience.
How,
He never got back to me, but I did send the message I sent, and yeah, he just never got back to me. So I don't know. Could there be a chargeback one day? I don't know, but for now, I mean, like you said, the way he phrased it, kind of like he knew, kind of the
yeah.
terms.
Yep.
So yeah, but I didn't get him like blowing up on me or anything like that. And I did take the work to go and do that. I felt like in the video world, that's like as if you did an edit for someone and then someone's like, "Oh, I don't want the video anymore." It's like, well, you still did services rendered, So I felt like we should have the same level of respect in the agency world too.
Yeah.
For the
Yep.
work that we render, even if we don't launch, or if someone gets cold feet and doesn't want to launch, I still did all the build out, the meta. I went through the technical stuff to get him all hooked up. And in the end, he leaves with a meta account that's pretty much good to go if he wanted to run it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, but
Okay.
thanks for that. And but yeah, overall, yeah, the next thing was just like, okay, how do I get more calls? How do I get back to where I used to be, where I was just getting people just on my calendar all the time? So I did kind of that thing where I changed the backgrounds up and stuff, and I did the UTM thing where Amon said, so I was able to get like the text sent, so it tells me if they're from Facebook or Instagram or what ad set, what ad, which is something I'm thinking about applying to certain clients as well. So, but yeah, last couple of I don't know if it's helpful for me to kind of show you my ad manager or maybe my Excel doc in while I go through this. Cool. Yeah, let me. Yeah, I spent this call while you're talking with everyone else to they'll update my niche Excel doc, so that should be up to date as well. But yeah, I launched two ad sets instead of doing $20 a day on one ad set. I just launched two, so I could just test more creative all at once. Um, so I guess I'll just pull up the ads for them now. But if you want to see kind of the general overview of what's active, one's really outperforming the other.
Okay.
I just got like while I was on this call, like two more booked people. So this went from like 30 to like $12 a lead right now. So
Wow.
Hopefully that means that one's kind of winning the race, so to speak. But yeah, I can kind of show you what ads are being ran inside here.
Yeah.
And then the one with so I kind of took your like 80s theme, do like a bunch of different backdrops, and a lot of my ads were made in Canva. So there's like a cool background thing where it's like you just change the background based off what you input. Um, I wish I could actually let me just so you can see the actual ads too, and then I can relay it. Oops, cop. But where was it? Projects. Um, where was it? Oh yeah, there we go. So that was the original ad. Sorry, not that one. What was this was like the original winner. And then I went ahead and did like the bunch of these guys.
Okay.
So I did like camera, I did winter, I did kind of, like a future 80s type of vibe, these kind of family photo things. So just know I basically threw all of them into those two ad sets. And then the one that seems to be working the most, it looks like, is the future theme. So that one that's like, what was it? I think this one, I think. So
Okay.
this one seems to be working the best right now. The other of the two I noticed that were doing well as well was the 80s theme, and then a camera gear theme, and then the male photographer theme where there's like a solo male photographer. I did do that on female version too. But yeah, it seems like right now, out of all things, this one kind of spiked. So it seems like the future theme is doing the most well. So I mean, I came in here with $30 a lead or $40 a lead here or 50 or something, and then $60 a lead here, and then literally got two or three calls like booked into my calendar. So this dropped to $12 a lead. So I'm guessing I don't have as much of an issue now, but um, you know, these were just kind of freshly launched like 2 days ago. So maybe I just need to turn this one off and then leave this one running.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go into the ad set that's like $60 per lead.
Okay.
Just kind of see what those ads are looking like. The ad specifically.
Oh, ad specifically.
Or
Yeah,
like
that's the only one that got the lead, I think.
you can close out of this. Um, and then just click on the ad set. Yep. Okay, so let's see here. So $33, and then let's go to the left and filter by like amount spent. Okay, so the one that spent $33, $1.95, $1.58. Okay. So the issue isn't the cost per click, the issue is the conversion rate on the calendar page. 1 divided by 33, you're talking about times 100. This is a 3% conversion rate. What's your average conversion rate?
On
Calendar page?
on the calendar page. Uh,
If you pull up your
average.
Excel, yeah, it's probably on your Excel, the
Yeah.
average.
So, average conversion rate from uh cost per booked. Is it the booked discovery call conversion rate? Is that
Yep.
it? 6.90%.
Okay, that makes sense. So
Well,
basically, yeah. So what's happening here is your cost per click is really good, dude, but your calendar conversion rate is like half. That's why. That's all that's happening.
gotcha. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of clicks.
Yep.
I feel like there's a lot of clicks, and which I've never had a calendar issue up until maybe this point. I mean, it used to convert pretty high at a certain point, more towards north, like 9%. And
Right.
then over the months, it's been kind of going from 7%. Then October it was like 4%, and then November it was like 5%. And then, also September and October, I also got half as many leads as I was used to. So when you combine the calendar conversion getting crappier and then the combination of less volume of leads, I feel like things kind of slow down, just getting hit from both ends. But yeah, I don't know, maybe something to think about in terms of tweaking my calendar page up on the front end, or
I
No,
wouldn't. Can I say
I
something as well, just really quickly? Like, I think it's really you can get lost really quickly in terms of like trying to optimize things all until the time. Like how can I get more link clicks or less link clicks, whatever. But the thing is like the only thing that you really need to care about, Daniel, is like your cost per like discovery call and sales call. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like because at the end of the day, it's like for example, like I'll tell you a real situation. So I'm running an ad myself, right? And it's optimized for followers, and it's crazy. This ad is doing so well. Like my cost my cost per follower is like 25 cents. Like it's crazy, right? But the thing is like if you keep optimizing in terms of trying to get that down more and more and more and more and more, you could be sacrificing the quality of the leads as well without knowing it because you're so hyper focused on one number that it doesn't really matter. Because the thing is like, let's say you get 5 link clicks and one of them is like a really, really good lead. Like maybe that's just what it is. You see what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm thinking about your niche in particular, where it's like photographers. It's like there's so many, like your targeting seems to be really good, and they're just probably like wondering what it is that you're actually offering. You know what I mean? So it's like there's no point of breaking our calendar page or trying to really, really, really like optimize to find out what's going to make it better. For me, what I would do instead of like thinking about the calendar page is simply finding more ways to get people to the calendar page. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I was even thinking about maybe because I did a lot of background changes, but obviously I've kept the same kind of
Yeah, get test
maybe,
more different
maybe
stuff out.
angles. Yeah,
Test
maybe
different stuff out. I'm looking for wedding videographers that know that busy season it's over, but still trying to find a way to make income through their cameras. Like
yeah.
figure out different angles like that to keep going.
Yeah,
And
if I were you, yeah, don't change your counter page. Go back to your ads manager. Just shut off the other three ads.
okay,
'Cause,
so these three.
yeah, because if you look at your number, 1 out of 17 booked. So 1 out of 17 is 6%. That's 5.8%. So I would just keep on, yeah, I would just keep that ad set, the one the lead came from, or the book call came from.
I think sometimes it just acts a little wonky. But okay.
Go back to your ad sets, and then let's go and click on the other one, and let's look at those ads within that one. And let's filter by amount spent. Okay, so we're there, filter by amount spent. So let's scroll to the right. So dollar, so okay, which ones did the book calls come from?
It looks like
Cost.
the future theme the most.
So future theme. So if you scroll a little bit to the right, so it's $21, $5, $10. Um, I this ad set is fine, dude.
Yeah.
Like this, I
Maybe
mean, it's spending the $21.17. Yeah, granted, it's higher than the other one, but it's still good. And the bottom two, although it's not booked a call yet, I just wouldn't mess around with it.
How much have they even spent? Let me see.
in total, let's see.
Yeah, like that's not even nearly enough, right? Like if you look at your data now, it's like, okay, the most I've ever spent on a lead in this ad set is $20. So like if you see the other two go above $20 and the other three are still performing, kill those and then just launch new ads.
Yeah, so you're good, dude.
Okay, yeah.
Jason said though, like if I were like this is what I'm doing with Jorge, is like find something that works and then just create multiple variants. So did you see what me and Jorge were doing by any chance? Did you get a chance to see that?
Was that on today's call?
Yeah.
Okay. I may have seen just a little bit.
Okay. If you I will share my screen with you. Um, so basically he tried a bunch of ads and I was just like, all right, let's just see what you do. Let's see what gets
Yeah.
results when they're optimized. And so I saw this one doesn't perform. I'm like, I don't know why it would perform. I look at it from the eyes of a cold traffic person. It
Not
wouldn't
get
perform.
a consolidation loan until you see this.
Same thing.
Emperor Lopez here.
And then this is the one that performed. I don't know if you got a chance to see this. So Jujitsu school owner, we create the perfect lead, isn't looking for this, da 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 da. I don't know if this would work well for the photography niche.
Mhm.
Create
I do
that-
like it though. I do like it looks pretty chill. Cool.
And so this just performed really good. I'm like, why did it perform? And then I thought about, it, I'm like, oh, I get why. If I thought about the niche, I'm like, yeah, they do. These business owners really, this is a pain point for them. Like they get leads, but then they're always doing free trials. They're not showing up to appointments. They're staying for only 3 months. They don't want to play good money. And so I was like, oh, that's why that works. And so then what we did, this is what I mean is like create multiple variations. So this is what I meant is like, see how like they're so drastically different.
Oh yeah.
Like an 80s neon style. This is a different style. Some are real people, some are mannequins. And so then we created another version where it's just like one person. I was like, why are there two people? He's like, I don't know, bro. That's just what I found. So I was like, we just had like one person. And so he created that ad. I just can't seem to find it. But that's what I mean by like creating so many variations of something that like once you have it working, we create a bunch of variations. So that's what I would do. Like I like the words and everything, but I would maybe you see how these are all just like so drastically different.
Hmm.
Like try that. Try to be a little bit more aggressive with the tweaks that you make so that they
Okay.
all feel so different. So you might
Okay.
want to screenshot this or just kind of try to remember.
Changing maybe the font of the text as well, because I seen like I kept that, but just like changed the background, but maybe even change the fonts to match it or whatever the vibe.
And then now we're gonna do different things. Like we talked about like creating video ads, like, hey, this, and so Jorge can have like a mannequin like this here is a perfect lead. It doesn't do this, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do this, and they pay good money. And we figure it out. Not only do we figure out how to get this perfect lead, but we guarantee you $20,000 within the next days, or you don't pay. Click the button, but so we're taking this and we're converting into a video. So that's what I mean is like find something that works and then just create a bunch of different versions of it. And then we can create like a GIF of it, for example. So many different things that we can
Yeah.
do. Play
Use
on,
your girlfriend in an ad as well.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, she'd be down.
So, um, yeah, that's the idea. Take the one thing that works and just create a crap ton of variations, videos, GIFs, all that stuff. And what we're doing with Jorge is like we committed to like once a week, we're gonna create a new ad set. So I haven't necessarily done that with you or the other guys, but because I just and I so far the results have been good, but like no matter what, we just create a new ad set every single week and we take the winners from the previous week and we put them in there. So for example, your neon one, or for example, your futuristic one, next week you'd create an ad set and you'd throw that ad in there. And then you'd have three other ads that you'd combine it with and see kind of which one outperforms.
Well, that makes sense.
But yeah, that's that, man. Do you have other things that you wanted to go over? Um,
Forgot what else I put. I mean, I'm still getting data back from Wendy on stuff, but I mean, I another photographer tried a different upsell method of Wendy's is like, I think like it's more of a volume thing, right? You get like $5 a photo. If you buy this many, it's like $3 a photo. If you buy the whole gallery, you get them all. But I had another client be like, oh, I kind of want to try like maybe just like one photo is $20, right? Like really high, really, really high. Like five photos is like $50. And then the full gallery is like $100. So she tried that, but no luck. People have just picked their 15 for both times. So she may be more inclined to actually try Wendy's since Wendy's closing more. But yeah, I kind of just tell them, hey, give it a shot, but if it doesn't work, fall back on Wendy's since it's kind of more tried and true. So that's what I kind of been telling clients. That way I could kind of make them guinea pigs if they have an idea or they want to try something they've done in the past. I kind of give them that pathway, but I tell them like, hey, if it's not working within the next like 3 or 4 closes, like just fall back on Wendy's because we already know like, 1 out of 6 will get a full gallery session closed, right? Um,
with your clients,
oh, what was that?
you have an Excel sheet like with each of your clients?
No, I don't, and I wish I did, but even if I did, I feel like they're not really keeping up with their CRM, so I feel like it'd be a nightmare to. I probably
We
could
need to,
be on
right?
them. Yeah, I think I just need to be on them more.
We'll
And
work on that. We'll work on that, but that's like 100% we need that because I need the data to kind of see what's going on. Also, like the way I typically do things, and me and you will transition this is like you'll have your own Slack, and then with each client, like I'm in there with you. So for you, this is Jorge, Asha, and myself. This way I can kind of see, I can help you,
yeah,
lay the smack down a little bit, make sure that, again, people are communicating, talking the right way. So we'll transition to this, but The reason is like I'm like running through some numbers, man. So again, I don't know unless we have everybody else's numbers. So this is based on the fact that Wendy is currently making a 3x return ad spend. So currently you're doing this, right? You're charging $1,500. And then if they're spending $3,000 over those 3 months, they should theoretically make a 9x, or they should theoretically make 9,000, which would net them 4.5K. Now, if you're telling me that they make more of like a 2x, then 3 times 2 is that would be 6K. And so what that would mean is 6 minus 3 minus 1.5 is a 1.5K. So do you see the difference there? So you're charging $1,500 for 3 months, right?
Hmm.
If they spend $1,000 a month, and if they get a 3x return ad spend, they're basically making 9K in revenue. So they would basically be netting 4.5K. So they make 9K minus 3K ad spend minus 1.5K to you. They walk away with 4.5K over the 3 months, which I think is okay, but it's probably not enough to stay with you. Because people realistically, I mean, what do people need to be making? Like 3 to 5K a month take home?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like somebody's like 4.5K, 4.5 divided by 3. I mean, they're basically making $1,500 a month after all expenses and stuff. In this case, if they're making a 2x, that's even worse. They're making 1.5K total, which means they're walking with like $500 a month. Are you following the math so far?
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I feel like right now. I feel like a little bit
So,
like
so
they're, yeah, it's a
I'll,
little.
I paint multiple variations and then I'll just kind of walk you through like what is your ultimate takeaway. So I know I've already said this to you, but hopefully you have like a eye-opening experience and be like, holy fuck, I need to get on top of this. Let's say you're charging 3K for 3 months, which is bare minimum where we really need to get to, men, and you're getting them to spend 3K on ads, and we don't figure out how to help them increase LTV. You charge 3K, they spend 3K on ads. If they make a 3x, they make 9K, they net 3K over the 3 months. That's basically $1,000 a month. It's not going to work via agency model because they're not making enough money. However, if you transition to a coaching program, it will work. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, going from agency to coaching. The reason it makes sense is because coaching program, you get them to pay this lump sum, you empower them, get them to run their own ads. Sometimes within the summer marketing cheat code, again, it can take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months before I can get something really working. For example, you took me a long time to get things working. But if you charge them that high ticket amount, it can work, but agency model is not going to work. Um, let's say we're charging them 3K for 3 months and you're getting them to spend 4.5K on ads, which is the magic number, by the way. Whatever. So it's actually working out in your favor here because you're charging 1.5K for your service fee and you're getting them to spend $3,000 a month on ads, which is you're getting them to spend double whatever they invest with you. So usually the metric is 1.5x of ad spend. So that means if they're spending 3K with you, they need to spend 4.5K on ads. And if we don't figure out how to help them increase LTV, then you charge 3K for your service fee. They spend 4.5K on ads. They're going to make 13.5K. Again, 3x return ad spend. I don't know if they're making 2x. You're saying Wendy does $5 per lead. They spend $10 per lead. So they're netting 6K. It's barely going to work to retain them as an agency model. If you charge them 3K for 3 months, if you get them to spend 4.5K on ads, same thing. But if you help them increase their ROI from a 3 to 5, now, all of a sudden, here's what the numbers look like. You charge 3K for your fee. You get them to spend 4.5K on ads. They will return 22,000. They will net 15,000. Now we're actually cooking. This is what it would take. So one, you got to get them to spend significantly more on ads than they're paying you. At least not significantly more, but 1.5x. And again, this is if we want to charge 3K. And I think we really need to be, man, like right now, your cost per acquisition is $500. So you're chilling. You're like, oh, dude, I spent $500, made $1,500, no problem. It's not going to keep being that way, dude. We're going to get to a place where your cost per acquisition is $1,000. It's $1,500. It's going to happen. So we need to be charging at least 3K, bare minimum. I like us to be charging 5K, but 3K. And if you can figure out how to get them to make more money, now they're cooking. Now we're cooking, dude. In an ideal case, we're charging 5K for 3 months. They spend 4.5K on ads, and then their ROI is a 5. So this is more like a coaching program because we're charging 5K. We're not charging, 1K a month. They're spending 4.5K. Coaching fee is 5K, ad spend is 4.5K. They're going to return 22K. They're going to net 13K over the 3 months. This is okay if it's a coaching program. So, what is my takeaway? First of all, you can't be charging $1,500 for 3 months. Again, I know you're starting out and we just want to kind of, get our feet wet, but it's not going to keep working. It's just not enough, not even close. So, this is going to be a sales thing. It's going to be how you position it. Different things for us to take this from 1,500 to 3,000 at least, and then from 3,000 to 5,000. We need to work our way up. However, you need to, you have no choice, dude, but to test out things to increase your LTV just because of it. Just to me, it's common sense where things are going. We need to aim to help these people make at least a 5 turn return on ad spend if we're going to charge $5,000 at least. So that means like whatever you're, and again, I don't know if I'm in the dark if you don't get them to fill an Excel sheet. So they need an Excel sheet, you need something. Even if you need to take these clients and like do it yourself for just to do it yourself, just to get their numbers right now. So I'm not in the dark. Again, I couldn't have told you this if you didn't give me Wendy's numbers. Because you gave me Wendy's numbers, I can tell you, but even this is off the pictures because I don't know what your other clients are doing. And what would be more accurate is not taking Wendy's numbers, who's doing $5 per lead, but rather $10 per lead. What is average? And see what kind of return ads when people are making. But I know I'm saying a lot. Point is, I think you need to figure out this high ticket thing. I think, and the best way is going to be is if you and Wendy doing it, or you doing it yourself, dude. Like seriously, it's one or the other. You gotta do it, or Wendy's gotta do it. But going in there and trying to sell those high ticket things as opposed to like what you're doing right now, because there's just not enough return on investment right now.
Yeah.
It's working right now, but it's not gonna work forever. It's gonna stop working in like 2, 3 months probably if you don't figure this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason again is because your cost per acquisition is going to go up. That's why. Because your cost per acquisition is going to go up, you're not your because so ultimately the issue is your cost per acquisition is going to go up. Right now it's low enough, but it will go up. Once it goes up, we need to be charging people enough. And we cannot charge them enough if we don't make them enough money.
Yeah. I've been, yeah. I had it here, but I was thinking of different upsell things. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of the quickest lever to pull, the lowest hanging fruit in terms of. I think I just need to be more experimental and push Wendy to push the physicals, the
It is.
albums, and
You
yeah,
guys got you guys got to get those printed. You guys got to go out there and try to sell those. That's it. There it's if you don't do that, Riviera, like I don't know how else to tell you other than like this is not going to work. Like I to me it's very obvious. To
yeah, it's
me,
had
what happen is we're gonna make a few sales, you'll make 10 grand, and then eventually you're gonna burn out from this because we're not making enough, and your ads are gonna go through the roof, your costs.
yeah, yeah. I'll talk to her about it. That way, it's on her radar. I think just putting pen to paper and just yeah, starting with actually just let's buy an album, let's put the best photos in it as possible, and let's push these physicals. I know right now she's done kind of props and stuff to kind of get her sessions to 450, which she has closed like I think one or two of them for 450 recently, just because props. But then it's more manpower. You have to physically like have another person out there to set it all up. So um, I think probably the easiest thing to do so we don't have to push people in that direction, at least my clients, is really focus on the physicals. Yeah, I think modifying text or modifying how we price out the gallery and stuff, like it seems like we already have something that bites, but I think we need to have like an additive that's outside of that, and something in like the physicals.
Yep.
So that's kind of where my mind's headed. But yeah,
What's the
but putting
average?
it pen to paper for sure.
What's the average order value? Just out of curiosity, Daniel.
Average order value, baseline, she's always at 250, but then, for the most part, I mean, it's probably in there, right?
So
Um,
basically if we say
And
so
then what's the
revenue
what's the what's the CAC?
11,855 divided by 51 clients, she's making an average of $232 per person, right? So she's making $230 per person. Her
Is that
client.
subtracted by ad spend?
So hold on, Mason. So basically, so 11,800 is what she's collected so far, right? If I divide
yeah,
that by 51 clients, The number is $232. So she's making $232 per customer. Her CAC is like half of that, dude. Her CAC is freaking $78. So that's the issue.
Hmm.
So it's costing her $78 to close somebody who's only spent $232 with her. She needs to figure out how to get the average person to spend five, six, $700 with her.
What are they doing with the photos?
I mean, they're just downloading them digitally, and they're picking their, for the most part, like the baseline it comes with is 15 photos. They'll choose their favorite 15, and the ones that upsell usually choose like maybe 20 photos, and they'll pay an extra 30, $40. And then there's some clients, maybe 10%, 5% of them that will buy the full gallery for $150.
Why
So
doesn't she offer? So like, you know what she could do as well that may be worth is testing. Like if they're picking like before the upsell, how many photos are they picking that they like actually like and want edited and stuff? 15?
yeah, 15. It's kind of like that's the deliverable that's been kind of yeah, what they closed at. So they kind of just pick 15.
So what would be interesting is like what happens if you actually like because I'm trying to think about like increasing the LTV a little bit because there's only so much we can do in terms of getting the cost per acquisition down. So like the reason I'm asking you like what are they doing with the photos is like are they just downloading them and then like, that's it or like what are they actually doing with them? Are they printing them out and hanging them on their wall? Or are they like creating like Christmas cards with them? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, what happens if you could figure out an offer where it's like you take the 15 photos, you figure out what their favorite one is, you put it in a frame in a mock-up, you send it over to them and be like, hey, for an extra this, I can get it printed and sent to your house for this price. Is that something that you'd be interested in?
That's
So
actually smart. Yeah.
what they're doing, Mason, is um I'll butcher it, but basically they have an ad, 250 or 199 or whatever it is, hop on a call, collect a deposit for $50, show up, and then it's like they send a thing of photos and it's like, hey, here are all these photos. If you want to add five more photos, it's this price. If you want to add 10 more photos, this price. If you want to do the whole thing, it's this price. And so it's all digital. There's no in-person like sales. Other than that initial phone call, there's none. And so what people are typically doing in this niche is they're getting in through the door for 250, 100, whatever, and they're selling a freaking thing that's like a grand or 500 for like a fucking big ass album. And so what Riviera really needs to do is same thing, run the ad, hop on a phone call, collect the $50 deposit, go out there to do the photos. But instead, what he needs to do is he needs to have like an album and some cool shit to show, like, oh, here's all these cool things. And then plant the seed and then try to sell that. Here's what people actually do. What people actually do is they'll do the photo shoot, do everything, and then they'll invite people over to like a sales presentation. They'll actually invite them into a location, or they'll do it over a Zoom call and they just reveal all the photos and do all the shit. So they don't show any photo, don't do anything until the actual sales presentation. On the sales presentation, they try to sell some 500, 1,000, $2,000 thing. That's what they typically do. And what I'm telling Rivera is he needs to move into that direction. Like what they're doing gets very gets sales and gets them really super cheap, but they're not making enough at all. Until you add in that high ticket sales element, do some real sales, you're not going to be able to increase that price point.
Yeah. I just think there would be a lot of people willing to pay for like a down, like obviously like a downsell. I think that you could do is what I'm kind of mentioning, which is like obviously whatever it's digital, but the thing is like you could definitely upsell someone to just take the picture, put it in the frame for them or whatever, and make it look nice and then send it to their house. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to necessarily print it out and then ship it yourself.
It's not going to be enough, dude. There's not enough profit margin even in that. It's a good starting point, but like he needs to take the average order value from wherever it is right now, which is,
And double it basically.
oh dude, more than double. Because so remember their CAC is 78. Their average order value is 232.
Say those numbers again.
So CAC is 78,
Okay.
average order value is 232.
So it's about $154 profit per sale.
That is not enough, dude. They need to go to like fucking $500, $600 average order value.
So maybe move away from the one call closes or
No, I think the one call close is fine, dude. I think it's the way you're doing your upsells. The problem is your upsell.
hmm
So you're so here's what you're doing that's good, okay? You got the ad, it's fine. The phone call, fine. When you go in person, here's what you need to be doing. You need to start, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's taking an album, taking some shit in there to plant some seeds. And then after that, everything you guys have been doing so far of like sending a link and all this shit, it's making you the sales, but it's unfortunately like not enough. I think what needs to happen is you need to like hop on a Zoom call and like do a fucking sales presentation and walk them through, hey, here's all the things that you can get and blah blah blah. I think you need to experiment with that. This is the stuff that if I were you, I would maybe talk to Estelan about that because he actually like knows how to do. Actually bought a program where you learn how to do all that stuff.
yeah, you kind of told me a little bit of that. And after the shoots, like actual the day they shoot and they're physically with each other, always at the end of the shoot, they're always like, "Oh, what happens next?" Maybe
Exactly.
that's where you can say, "Oh, pretty much what happens next is I get everything ready for you. We hop on a Zoom call where we basically look over your photos together, and I'm even showing. I can even basically I'll put together kind of I don't know how you can do it without being salesy, but basically you want to basically lead them into scene kind of like almost like you're building a album together. And then
Right.
maybe at the end you have something right on the digital level on Pixie Set or whatever, like a digital version of it. Um, and yeah, that I mean, I'm just kind of spitballing, but you can do that on Pixie Set and build an actual album digitally.
Exactly. So yeah, if I were you, maybe again, you got to experiment with this, man. And here's the part
Mhm.
where I give you a little bit of tough love. You got to do it. You got to push yourself, and you got to fucking put that. You got to go Hormozy mode. You got to go Hormozy mode with all the shit that you guys are doing. If you can commit, 3 months to this, and just kind of put in the fucking volume and test things out, you're gonna be a complete different place. So again, I would say take an album there and fit. And so when they say something along the lines of "Here's what happens next." What I would do is maybe in her book bag or in your bag, you have a bunch of different things. You have like an album with photos in it. You have like maybe like what Mason was saying, something where you just have like a photo in there. You have a few different physical things in there. And so then what you do is you say, awesome. So basically, here are a few different things that we have. I don't know if you're interested in something physical or just something more digital, but basically, what we're going to do is we're going to sit down, me and you, on a Zoom call, me, you, your wife, everybody, and I'm going to share all these photos with you, and then we're just going to build it all out. We're going to build out an album of your favorite photos. So we're going to look through all of them and see the ones that you really like, and we're going to build it all out. And maybe that's an hour long call, dude. Maybe that's an hour where you build it all out. And at the very end, it's like, hey, what's the price point? It's like, okay, so this would be the price point for this. And then if they don't want to do it, then you do again, you got to put in the reps. You got to just fucking keep trying a bunch of different sales.
I mean, worst case scenario is she's still gonna get her whatever she was gonna get, right, for the delivery. So it might as well just shoot for the moon and learn have her go through the experience of learning going through a full sales cycle at a high ticket level.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the benefits of that just
Can
to
she
get
sell?
data, but to experience it as well.
Can she sell?
I mean, she's gotten way better on the phone and rapport building. She's one of the better ones of even my clients. But that took time, right? So I think just putting her in a place where she feels comfortable to do so. I think, yeah, I just need to egg her on. I think I've been kind of hesitant on what to do and try. I've been kind of um, more
Here's the
so
thing.
stuck at the fork of the road where I should be kind of just being like, hey, let's shoot here, even if let's just try this. So I think I feel like I'm getting a little bit more of that conviction just being on this call, like hearing this out. I think I have a better idea of what to do or say. Um,
And
and to
I
help.
even like, dude, if it means you run some ads for yourself and you're doing some freaking calls and you're going out there, like I would be doing that. I don't know what your time and energy looks like in terms of like, your other commitments, but like if you want to go all in on this, man, like there's opportunity here. There's so much opportunity here, but you got to figure out how to increase LG. Like there's nobody else is going to do it but you. So if you can't
Mhm.
get Wendy to do it, you got to do it, or both you guys do it to double overtime and put in the work to figure this out. And I mean, to me, hopefully that makes sense. It's like we just did the math, dude. Like your cost per acquisition is $78. Her average order value is 200 something. So she's making basically $150 of profit for each photo shoot. That's just not enough money, man. And
Yeah.
and again, I shared all this with you. It's just
Yeah. It's
bare
not.
bare minimum we need to be here. Like Bare minimum. This is the goal. Is we charge at least 3,000. People spend at least 4.5K on ads. They make 22,000. They net 15K. This is like what we need to be at least shooting for. This, if we can do this, what will happen is people will stay with us for, at least 2 months. Here's the thing is if we can do this, step one is us doing this. Step two is going to be honestly just changing from 3K to 5K is what we're going to charge. That's it.
Mhm.
Because right now, if you charge 3K, they're going to walk away with 15K profit. If we charge 5K, they're going to walk away with 13K profit. Still a good deal, but makes a huge difference for us. This is the best case. This is what I'm looking for. Ideal case, we charge 5K. They spend 4.5K on ads. They make 22.5K. They net 13K in the 3 months that they're with us. If we can get people to do that, they will potentially sign up for another, 3 months with us. But even if they don't, hey, me and you, we spend $1,000 to acquire that client. They spend 5,000 with us. We walk away with 4,000 profit. If we close, 3 deals a month, 4, 8, 12, that's 12K profit. So can we close 3 or 4 people a month? Ideally, let's just say 4 people a month. 4 times 5, 20,000, 19, 18, 17, 16, 16K profit a month, right? But you're never gonna get there doing what you're doing right now, dude. You're gonna burn out. You're charging this $1,500, you're gonna burn out.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, no, 100%. I'm gonna take this seriously. No, I think I'll just so focused on getting good at sales, just getting these guys like how to even communicate with these guys. Like Slack was new to me, and I was just all this new. But now seeing like where the road always ends or where it's probably going to always turn up, it's like there is no point to even start the relationship. I mean, of course I'm still going to do sales. I'm going to rock I'm going to say what I say to get the close, but I think I need to make sure like we're on some solid footing, because that's just going to make the whole journey easier. So yeah, I'll talk with her tonight. She comes home from work in a little bit, and I'll tell her, because we talk about it in passing, but we gotta be like, hey, tomorrow we buy the album. Tomorrow we put this money down, we look at the costs, we buy the album, we have it shipped, we have it here by Friday, whatever, right? You have
100%.
it ready for your shoot by Saturday. I think that's the conversation I need to have. So yeah, I think I kind of at least know the next step to take it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Is you guys need to seriously sit down, commit, and just get the things done and really push. And you're gonna maybe lose some money for like a fucking month, dude. You might lose some money while you're freelance, but that's the cost. Because
Mhm.
otherwise, if you just kind of like, I don't know, hopefully you can just follow the money as like right now, you spend $500, 1,500. But again, even look at that, right? Like think about what just happened. You had a guy that you spent $500 to close, you made 500 back, you lost money,
Right.
right? And this is gonna happen, Um, eventually you're gonna spend $1,000 a month. You're gonna spend $1,000 to acquire somebody who's gonna spend $500 with you, and then what's gonna happen is they're not gonna move forward after the second month, and so now you're at a loss of 500. Right? Does that make sense? You spend $1,000 to acquire the
Yeah,
customer. He spends $500 with you the first month. He churns, boom, we lose money because he's not making enough money. So I can just see it. I can see all roads lead there. So you're as silly, as stupid as it sounds, but as truthful as it is, have a really good product. We need to make our product better, and
for
that
sure.
starts with you. And
For
I
sure.
know you can do it. I know you can do it. If Estelon is already doing it and other people have already done it, I know you can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. That's literally the next move. I'm gonna buy the album and just start. I always see whenever I YouTube stuff, it always comes back to the physicals. It always everything whenever I look up high ticket photography, they're not talking about some crazy strategy on how to get more photos sold digitally. It's always something physical. So I think pattern recognition tells me that that's where we gotta aim. So um that's my thoughts, yeah.
Cool. Good man. Anything else top of mind for you?
No, I mean that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I just want to explore this further and
Well, do
ultimately,
do a little bit of research to figure out what are the physicals that people want. Is it albums? Is it what is it? Do a little bit of research there and then order those things. Don't just order just the album.
Hmm.
Do a little research, figure out what are the different things people want, like what are the different archetypes. Like maybe there's a mom, dad with kids and they want the album. Maybe there's a person that's like they're just recently married, and it's just the husband and wife, and maybe they don't want an album. Maybe they want something else, which is like some fucking frame of a heart with two people. I don't fucking know. Right. So you have there's probably different physical deliverables, different archetypes.
Is there yeah, is there because when is there like a certain question we can add into our discovery that can potentially like kind of open the door? Because I know Mason talked about like maybe asking them like, what's your intentions with these photos and just make it open-ended, or is like I'm curious as to maybe that helping kind of plant the seed too, like getting them to say it.
Yeah, that's a good question. Throw that in there. I would throw in like two questions. Like one question would be that, an open-ended one, but another one might be a little bit more closed, which is like, hey, so out of the following, which of these are most interesting to you? An album, a frame, or this? And just throw that out there. Just open. Don't
Yeah.
explain. Like again, don't.
Yes, it's more of a just
Yeah.
to get where their mind's at. And yeah, just yeah, because the script's pretty simple, but I think if we could potentially add some stuff that just gets us to know what that customer avatar a little more, I think help us a little bit just to collect more data.
Yep.
But yeah, yeah, I really, yeah, I need to get light a fire into this shit for sure. So, but yeah, I definitely, it's either that or I die. So it's like, if anything, that's like your onboarding, like gamify things. Like if by whatever X amount date that time passes and we don't do X, Y, Z, we're dead. So we'll probably, do the necessary things to collect HP to get our health bar meter up. So, yeah, I feel the bleed out and, yeah, I know what to do to patch it up at least. So I'll head in that direction.
It's really simple. Just figure out LTV. That's it. You figure out LTV, and I can make all this other work, right? In terms of like us charging 5K or 3K, I know I can help you with that. I'm not worried about that. I know we can, like, for example, if you we can literally do like Cam's offer, like, hey, look, it's only $500 to get started, and then after that, you can come for the remaining balance within 30 days. Why can we do that? Why? Because our shit works. Our shit works so well that we can lead with crazy offers like that. But until our shit works well enough, we cannot do anything. So I know we can do this. I know we can charge people 3K or 5K. I know. I'm not worried about that. But you got to be able to, your product has to be, well, good enough. Anyways, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say, oh, um, I'd like you to invite me to your Slack. So again, for
Yeah.
example, I have this is like mine with Aman, and then like I'm inside of each of the conversations. So I'd like to do that with you. I don't know if it's too late to do that right now with your existing customers, because they might be like, who the hell is this Koshi guy?
I mean, right now, so the Slack, the way I have it set up is like no one can communicate with each other, but so I do this thing called direct message Slack or something. So it's like you basically hit direct message, then you type their email, and then it invites them to like have a one-on-one with you in a direct message capacity. But there is some channels for like certain clients, like, but that's because they had a team, right? They were more than one client, and they wanted a place where the whole team could speak to me, right? So that was the only instances for channels, but everything else is kind of like a direct message external connection capacity. So I mean, I could give you kind of full access, and hopefully you can see what I see.
I
Yeah,
have a
I'll,
lot.
yeah.
I do think having all this stuff is important, like having the wins channel, having the value drops, and because we're gonna move things more towards a coaching program, right? And
Mhm.
we need to have the wins, we need to have the value drops, we need to have all these channels and have people like start, posting in there and stuff like that. Um, so again, don't let it overwhelm me. I know I'm already giving you a lot. Just get me invited in there, and then I want to have a closer look at like, your client communication, what you're doing, and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I could do that. I just yeah, hope you see what I see. I've like I'm kind of new to Slack controlling it on my end in terms of being like a moderator or admin. So, but yeah, let me know if you see actually what I see. Maybe I'll screenshot what I see and then hopefully you have the same access as well.
Sounds good. Cool, man. Anything else?
That's it. But thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that gives me clarity. Just sometimes I just get scatterbrained, but I for sure I'm bleeding out and I need to know. So I got the stitches ready. So
Good, good.
um but
We're still good now. I mean, your ad costs, your book call costs, everything is so good that you're in a good place. You really are in a good place where we're not necessarily bleeding yet, we're not hurting yet, and you have time. You have 1, 2, 3 months to figure this thing out. If you do not, yeah, this is gonna backfire and we're gonna have to shut this down. But right now you're still in a good place. You're still healthy. Everything is still okay. So the fact that we caught this early enough is good. And now we can work on it.
Cool. Yeah, I'll get to working on that and then kind of update you as you go.
Look, here, I'll be honest with you. Reach out to Estelan, okay? Put down your homework list, reach out to Estelan, and then ask them about that one guy. And here's the thing. Here's why this is important. Dude, I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I first built out this program and I didn't fully know what the fuck I was talking about, I just took some other guru's information. I shared their information until I made it my own. Right? So what I'm trying to say is like, if you need to go to that guy's stuff and study his stuff and just literally try it his way and see if it fucking works for you. And then modify it, tweak it to your own, right? Instead, because right now you're probably like, oh my God, where do I do? Where do I figure out? How do I just see what the fuck that guy says? You know, he's probably got some course material, he's got something. You can just try what the fuck he does.
Yeah. Okay, I'll reach out to him. He sounds like a cool dude.
Yeah, he is.
From what I've talked, the few
Yeah.
times I've talked with him.
Yeah,
So,
we'll look you up. But okay, cool, man. Yeah, just keep me posted. I'll see you inside Slack.
all right. See you there. I gotta head out, but it was good talking to you.
Jorge, you there, man? Yo, what's going on, bro? I can't hear you, bro. You're muted.
All right, I was removing myself.
No, you're good, bro. So what's up?
Um, right now, I literally just finished training. I didn't think I'd be able to catch this, so I was like unprepared. But pretty much like everything, I think we talked about it for the most part. The one thing I did want to update you is that I have all the ads ready for the new round. And what I did was I created the perfect lead ad, but I created a GIF around it to pretty much have like arrows like pointing to see like what that does. So it's a video format. And then I did the individual for the one that Rami came through. I did the individual man flexing, and then I did the other ads that you mentioned to keep in there. So
Cool. What else you want to go over, bro?
that I want to go over that, and then as far as like the Tuesday, Thursday schedule with these guys, that'll be like down the line when I come back to them with like a new update, like a new milestone check-in. Like, hey, by the way, like I'm trying this new thing out.
I did want to talk about this. Like, so in martial arts, 90% of owners are busy from 4 to 9 p.m. every day, and then weekend from 9 to 1 if they have Saturday and Sunday classes. So what I was gonna reach out to Elmer and Cam and ask them how they were able to schedule their stuff out. Um, Shit, man.
Yeah, because sometimes they do have off days, obviously because they're the owners, so maybe they have coaches. But
So why is it that they're busy from oh, it's because during the afternoon when people are working and jujitsu is more of an evening thing. I see. So
yeah,
what if you do your coaching like from 12 to 2 o'clock on Thursdays?
that could work.
Yeah, I would do something like that then. I would
And
not, I
then
would do, yeah, I would do like Monday. In fact, maybe like Mondays in the afternoon or something like that. Mondays or Tuesdays.
just because Mondays are tough, just because I'm here and like usually it's like one of my most busy days.
Okay. Then yeah, just do Tuesdays then. I think so. Tuesdays and then Thursdays check in. I think that might be good.
Hmm. So either Tuesday or Thursday for the weekly call. I mean the coaching call, like the actual training.
Yeah. Tuesday, probably in the afternoon that you're available. And then Thursday, you want to get them to do their check-in in the afternoon as well.
Okay. Yeah, because Thursday we had it scheduled already for 4:30 or like 3:30 or something like that.
So
I had
yeah,
to put in the calendar.
I would, if you're saying that because what we want to do is we want to try to have longevity. Whatever moves we make now, we want that to fit future clients' schedules as well.
Yeah.
So I wish I didn't know this, bro. I didn't know this about this industry.
Yeah,
So
that's why I said Sunday, because I was like, Sundays are like usually people are like chilling.
Yeah.
Um,
So I would say probably around 1 o'clock and then 1 o'clock, same time for Thursday. Just keep it the same time.
okay.
And the way we say it is, I would say um launch the cash flow emails. So I would say once you're done with this and before we launch it, we can drop a really quick voice note or a message and be like, hey, here are some of the changes that we're making really quick. So you know how like I told you like hey, so in terms of like the payment plan, all the stuff and refunds, chargeback, like we can do a tie down before maybe we launch this thing for them.
Okay.
That's kind of what's going through my head. It's like,
So
hey
it'd be
guys,
like the same thing there, like the tie down for the refund and the pick the date for the remainder, and then also the new days.
yeah. How do you feel about me doing it? Or do you think it'd be weird if I did it?
I don't think so. I mean, you already like we already established that you are like
The tech guy.
yeah, you're part of it, so
Yep.
I don't think that'd
So
be weird. If
when are you
anything, it'd
planning?
be like, oh, this guy's got a team, like, it'd be better if anything.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, when are you planning on launching this?
So I want to do it by the time they come back. I want to have like I don't want to launch it and then like, they get booked appointments and they like completely just like suck at sales. So I want to make sure that they have some training in. So I'd say within like the next 2 weeks, and during that time we'll do the cash flow kickstart to get something going for them.
So when are they coming back to town?
I think they'll be back next Wednesday or next Tuesday.
Okay, so next Wednesday. Okay, so you're planning on launching when then?
I would say in like
This is next Wednesday.
yeah, so by the time they come back.
Okay, cool. So they're
This
out of
way, because obviously they're gonna be in vacation mode, so they're not gonna be training or anything. Like I don't expect them to do like any sales training over there. But I
right.
do like I do expect them to do some training. I want them to definitely train. I don't want them to do the sales and like, potentially lose out.
So what I would say is get them to show up on Sunday because they're already planning on showing up on Sunday, right? Did you already talk to them about that? They're already going to show up on Sunday, the 16th?
So this Sunday they're gonna be I forgot because they're in Portugal, so Portugal is like different time zones.
Mhm.
So I think they said that they would do like a check-in. I don't know exactly the time zone though. I think it's like 3 a.m. over there.
So I guess like when is the next time you're seeing them? Like over them or whatever.
So I was gonna drop by to see them tomorrow or to see him in person. But as far as the check-in, it was going to be after they came back.
Okay. So let's do this then. So if you're gonna see them tomorrow, just talk to them, be like, hey guys, so we're getting everything ready. My tech guy's getting everything ready, and then he should send you a message here soon. But before we do, I actually want to try something different. I want to try something different. I want to do like a coaching session with you guys one-on-one because it's gonna be brand new for you guys. How does next Tuesday afternoon look for you? Okay. And then just get them booked in for Tuesday, the 18th. And then
That's like real quick. That's if they come back that time or if they don't.
that's if they're back by then, because
Okay.
from what I'm hearing from you, bro, it sounds like you're planning on launching on the 19th.
So I wanted I don't know exactly the date. Like I didn't have it set in stone. I wanted to wait till they come back, like do what they got to do, right? And then we get like at least like a good week of training.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so I guess like tentatively just do this and then just let me know. Just let me
Okay.
know. So the way you want to have the conversation with them is like, hey, I'm trying a few new things. I'd like to like sit down and have a Zoom call with you and give you a little bit of training before we launch anything. What does next week look like for you? Are you available on the 18th? And then they'll tell you, and then just be like, okay, cool. Let me just check with my guy as well, and then I'll get back to you and we'll confirm in Slack. So you kind of tentatively book for the 18th, but then just like let them know, it's still tentative and we'll confirm. And then me and you will kind of figure it out. And so then once we have this booked out, then I can send them, like I said, I'll probably send them a Loom video or a quick voice note saying, hey, here's basically where we're at, what we're going to be doing step by step. Just really quick before we launch, I want to go over this double tie down, payment plan, all this stuff.
Okay, cool. So tentatively booked for the 18th, and then get everything ready by them for that time.
Yep. Yeah. Main thing is just focus on getting them tentatively booked. That's it. That's it. That's the main thing. Do that. And then, so here two things. One, tentatively get them booked for the 18th or whatever day that works, and tentatively get a launch day for the email. Those are the only two things you need to do.
Okay, cool. So here's what I'm thinking. Like, I want to make sure that they're like, so when they have, since they have access to it, I want to make sure that they can come back and like be able to like manage everything and like get people to them ASAP instead of like them being out there and being like, oh, like um they're on vacation mode, right? So I'm thinking like everything we'll do after they get back.
Sure. That's fine. Yeah, just try to get it booked out. You're like, all right, cool, guys. I know you guys are going on a trip, vacation. How does the 18th sound? Will you guys be back and kind of enough headspace for us to focus and talk? If so, all right, cool. Let's get that booked, and then
Hmm.
10 we'll launch for you on the 20th. Yeah,
Okay. And then get them to switch from Sunday to Tuesday.
yeah, yeah.
And then to frame that, I'm framing as like, hey, I'm trying something new. And we do our coaching call either Tuesday or Thursday, and then like a checking calls on either way.
So right now, did you already tell them Sundays is check-ins? You already told them that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, and when you did you frame it as like a Slack check-in or like a face-to-face Zoom
No,
check-in?
Zoom. So yeah. I said sometimes we'll have more to cover, sometimes it'll just be a check-in, but it'll always be over Zoom just to get
So yeah, in that case, just be like, hey, so I'm trying something different. How about this? Why don't we just like do Tuesday the 18th when you get back? It'll just be more of a one-on-one instead of a group setting. This way. So you frame as if like Sunday was gonna be like a group call, but instead Tuesday you want to just say, hey, look, it's just me and you.
okay.
Okay. But yeah, just keep me posted, bro. Just play it, and then once I know, then I can kind of like work around that and give you some advice. But yeah, that's it. There, don't sweat it too much. It's not that serious. Um, what anything else top of mind for you? That was the only thing that was really of top of mind for me is I just need to know when you're meeting them and when you plan on launching. If I know when you're meeting them, if I know when you plan on launching, then I'll tell you like, okay, here's where we do the double tie down, all this stuff again.
Oh,
So
that's
when-
it.
yeah, so once you get the date locked in, you let me know, and then I'll take it from there.
Awesome. Yeah, that's it. What else? No, pretty much the ad and then the new onboarding experience, and then that's it.
Yep.
Pretty much
That's all.
ready to rock on the new ads then.
Yeah.
I'll send you a Loom just so you can see real quick, just in case.
Yeah. Oh, I have to look at your numbers. So basically November 2nd to the 8th, which was last week. Booked one call. Cost per book call is a little bit high. Why was this a little bit higher last week, bro? Cost per click is a little bit higher. That's why. Calendar conversion rate. Okay, yeah. So the calendar conversion rate was still keeping around the 2%, right? So the issue is the cost per click. Does that make sense, bro?
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to focus on trying to bring. So I don't. You're probably not next to your computer right now. Obviously, I can't probably look at your ad sets right now. But basically, what I'm guessing happened is you spent a little bit too much on the ads that were not working, which brought our cost per click up. So we got to
Mm-hmm.
focus on trying to keep our cost per click around $1.50. So this week, let's try to keep a focus on our cost per click around $1.50.
Okay. And then how do I manage that, like to keep it under? Is it like by turning stuff off, make sure that we're like
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's like, so you know how like sometimes I look at your stuff, I'll be like, oh, bro, shut this off. We spent way too much money there. That's it.
yeah. Okay.
That's what I've seen from you a few times, bro. I noticed a pattern is like you'll just leave something on way too long, and that's what makes your average cost go up
Okay.
over and over again. That's all it is. It's like so I'll see like a banger of an ad that's working really well. Numbers are good. It could be $2, it could be $1.50, and then you have this ad or this ad set that's like $17 in like one click. And what happens, you just let it run. And I'm like, no, no, shut that off, shut that off. And that's what drives up your average cost. Like your product,
Yeah.
your numbers are probably good as fuck. And then like one or two things fucked it up last week, probably.
Yeah, I see. And that, yeah, I was always thinking like that from like the don't touch it anything, like to not break anything. It's like one's kind of ripping.
Yeah. So like if I look here, these are like the ads I was watching for like Estelon. And so if I look at this ad set, if I look at this ad set, my cost per click is $2, $2, $2, and this one's like $6, right?
Hmm.
I shut this fucker off like right away. So it's,
I see.
and if I look here, when it came to the first two ad sets, this ad set didn't spend any money. This ad set spent money. Oh yeah, both of these ad sets. So both of these ad sets weren't really spending money, but this ad set right here, bro, look, it spent $18 and my cost per click was like $6.29. So this one was like $8.53, $5.17. So I want my cost per click to be around $2, right? So I shut these fuckers off. So I only spent $18.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I only spent $19. I didn't like blow through a bunch of cash. Versus what I've seen with you, bro, is that you'll just let it keep running and running, running until I come in there. I'm like, yo, shut that off, shut that off, shut that off. That's what happened.
I see.
So you just got to get on top of it. So if you're like unsure, if you're like, bro, I don't know if I should shut this off, just reach out to me. Be like, hey, bro, like here are my numbers. What do you think I should shut something off? That's what I've seen from you over and over again. You just let the cost creep up a little bit too much, too fast.
Okay.
You don't kill things fast enough is what I'm getting at. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out on that one then.
Yeah. So this week was good. This week was good. This week was good. This week was this week and this week are similar. So this week, yeah, let's just keep a close eye on it and we should be good. But yeah, anything else, bro?
Yeah, I remember now. So this is a side note more of like for like directly tied to downtown. We're gonna be doing Black Friday offers. And for that one, I was wondering if there's like if you know of a strategy for like just like super local markets to like kind of pump out like uh a special like Black Friday offer only for like local people, like anything like that? Like is it leads? Is it like engagement? Is like do you have experience with that or
Are you talking about like running an offer for Adam?
yeah.
A Black Friday offer for Adam?
Like we were gonna do this internally and just like using social media marketing. And I'm just using our like normal routes. But I was wondering like maybe there's a way where I can just blast this to like certain area. I don't have experience doing that.
From what I understand, bro, you can just rewrap the 6 week challenge, right? 6 week challenge, Hormozy, he like wraps it up Valentine's Day, 6 week off, spring, get your body, New Year's, new me, 6 week challenge. So you just wrap it up Black Friday offer, 6 week challenge.
No, but I was like, because we have like a set, like not the 6 week challenge, like that's still running actually. That's still running, and then we're still closing people, so that's good. I was thinking more like we have like set offers already within the school that we wanted to run. So, for example, it's like 50% off like your first month,
So you're talking
something like
about
that.
are you talking about running ads to warm traffic, people that have already became leads? Is that what you're saying?
No, like cold and warm, right? So like mainly cold though, like super like hyper like super local. Like I don't even know if like what I'm saying makes sense.
So if I'm understanding correctly, you're trying to figure out you're basically saying, hey, Kushik, what Black Friday offer should I run for Adam to get him more leads?
So no, we have a Black Friday. We have a Black Friday offers. Like we have these like this menu, right? And I've just been doing emails, right? Like normal on our social on Instagram and all that stuff, and I'm blasting them through there. And I'm getting everything ready. But I was wondering, is there a way to like kind of maybe have another campaign which just new traffic where I only run it for like these 10 days and then just get people from there to directly either come in or click on a link.
So what traffic source are you thinking?
That's what I was wondering. Like, would it be better for cold or like to use like our unconverted leads that came in, maybe like retarget them like that somehow, or just straight cold?
I see what you're saying. So here's what every business is a little bit different, bro. For me, Black Friday worked really well for people that were on my email list. So I would just do an email list. I would just take my email list and I would email them for like 4 days,
Hmm.
just get a shit ton of those people to show up. So if I
Okay.
would do, I mean, here, what I would do is this, is I would do what I suggested, which is the 6 week challenge, but wrap it up in Black Friday, like at the ad level. And so that's going to be for cold traffic. So what's going to happen is, let's say your cost per lead is $5. Maybe your cost per lead will jump down like $2. Maybe your conversion rate of people showing up will be higher. Maybe your close rate will be higher because people are like, oh, there's a deal going on here. Even though it's the same shit, because they see Black Friday, now you're getting it. So because they see Black Friday, your cost per click might be cheaper, your cost per lead might be cheaper, your cost per show up might be cheaper, your cost per acquisition might be cheaper. I don't know which one or multiple of those
Mm, the
because they're
only
and
what I'm like, sorry,
then
go
when
ahead.
and when it comes to your email and everything, I would just wrap again Black Friday. Hey, same thing. We're doing a Black Friday thing, 6 week challenge. And nobody needs to know it's a different thing or different or same thing. Nobody needs to know. You just
Yeah.
wrap it on Black Friday and people fucking show up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for the email stuff, like I'm already like I'm gonna do that for sure. Like so like we
But
have a set offers for
I wouldn't change the offers. At least for me, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would keep the same offers. I would just say Black Friday. You can try it. Try the. It sounds like you have like different offers, like buy one get one free, 7 week challenge, or free week. I don't know. It sounds like maybe you have a few things. It's up to you if you want to try them. In my experience, you can just wrap something Black Friday and people buy.
okay. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what we're doing. We're just pretty much running like the SummerSlam raffle that we did in the beginning. Remember, I don't know, summer what I told you, right? Like a cash flow kickstart, but literally just wrapping it up in Black Friday. Like we're doing the same thing. Yeah, we're doing the same thing. But this time around I wanted to test it out with some new offers that I saw for like specifically for like, um just test out some stuff that I've been seeing around like that Mosey gift card play. Like I think I'm gonna run that this month or next month for sure. One of these 2 months, but I'll for sure run that. You know that one?
What's that one again? Remind me.
The gift card play. So you pretty much like uh 1 month of service is the value of the gift card, and then each person gets to buy like three only. They give it to that person and they buy it for like 25 bucks. So it's pretty much we're getting paid to get leads. And then once they come in, they use that, month of service gift card to either get like 1 month off or you get like that off of a piss.
I see. I see. Yeah. That's like to warm traffic, obviously, like customers already.
Yeah, that's more like just to get extra referrals.
Yeah. I mean, I would be doing that to every customer, right? As soon as somebody becomes a customer, that would be like one of the first things I would give them to incentivize them. Like, yo, here's the thing. By the way, you can use this within the first 3 months or within the first 30 days.
Mm.
That's why it would just be part of my sales process.
Just giving that gift card.
Just give them that gift card and then frame it so urgency.
Yeah,
It's
that cannot be bad.
yeah, it's literally the same thing we're talking about with the Trojan horse offer, which is like, yo, you sign somebody up and say, hey, look, if you do this, this, this within the first 30 days, we're gonna give you a $1,500 gift card. You can apply that gift card to whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah. So it's in the Money Models book, but I asked Solo, he did it too. He's like, bro, yeah, just do it. And I was like, all right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but it's just like, yeah, this way, like, I get what you're saying, and I'll definitely bring that up too. I'm like, hey, listen, maybe we should do this too, right? Like just as normal procedure, because we do that normal procedure. I always ask for referrals, but I don't do it to that extent. I'm like, yo, and then we have our referral events every month.
Yeah. Yeah. How does that work? The referrals events and everything. Do they work well for you guys?
Yeah, so this is sorry. So we actually get yeah, we get like 10 people, 10 new leads every time, and it's dope. Sometimes we have fun with it. We have like a DJ, right? We have like collab with like a local like Healthy Donuts, right? So it's a vibe. And then this time around we're doing a raffle. So every time, somebody brings a friend, they get like a enter to win something. It's like a shirt, right? But people like do it just because it's like fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like the referral play. Is like the moment somebody signs up, give them a gift card or whatever that they can use and give to somebody. And yeah,
Yeah,
which
that could be cool, like long term. But anyways, yeah, I have like my set offers that I was gonna try. 'Cause this is also like kind of on my plate here at the school. Like as far as like Like I'm all things like marketing and like I'm in charge of like making the school as much money as possible, right? Um, so this is one of the things I want to try. But that's why I was asking, like, is there something that I can do to just kind of like advertise this like a specific offer, like to cold traffic, like, hey, here's $50 off your first month, stuff like that.
I
Like,
personally
would you
would.
recommend that?
I wouldn't do that because I think you're gonna lose money because you already have some that works so well. You're gonna lose money.
Yeah. Oh, I remember now. I was kind of like on that to wrap the Black Friday stuff, like the 6 week challenge around the Black Friday offer. That would be at the creative, right?
Yeah, that would be the creative.
The copy or anything, or
Yeah, the copy you just throw that in there, just Black Friday. For
and then like because things are working so well right now, like everything's cool. Like I think this might be a limiting belief where it's like, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? But I'm kind of like timid to go in and change it and nothing to get worse results, right? But I think that's like kind of like the nature of like
I
marketing and
get it.
testing.
If you're worried about that, then the only level you would do it at is like your email list because you can't
Mhm.
can't really fuck that up.
Yeah, yeah. But even then, I mean, it's like, why not? Let's try it, right? It's like, hey, like we're already here.
Yeah. If I were you, I would do what you're suggesting, which is like taking that challenge thing, the summer bash, whatever, and then wrapping that on Black Friday because that works so well. You're just telling something different.
Yeah.
Um, that's it. If you're worried about the ads, then don't do the ads. I wouldn't. I get it. If they're working so well and you don't want to fuck with them, like I get that.
But also it's like I'm open to doing it. So like I'm open to doing it. Something I've been doing is I've been messing with the qualifying form, like on Facebook, like the qualifying intent. You know how like there's an extra qualifier section where it's like you have to swipe and then you have to confirm and then you get the verification for your phone number. So I've been doing that with another school and it's working well. Like, it's working well. The people are immediately different. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I did it for another one and it's working well again. So I'm like, oh, this could be an opportunity to try it out here.
I see. I see. So it's like you're thinking it might not compete or whatever. This is a different kind of like the ad is just slightly different the way you set it up.
Wait, say that again?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, I know with Adam, it's if you're in a place where you're happy, if the numbers are good, then it's not yeah. I it's hard to say. It's hard to say whether it's gonna fuck it up or not. It's kind of like my
Maybe.
situation. It's like, do I create new ad sets with Jorge or not? It's okay. Here's the thing is like I feel like with Black Friday you can make and you can lose a shit ton of money. If you do things right, you make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, do you think it's worth like, hey, like we try it out with the new angle of Black Friday. If it doesn't work, just turn the ones that I turned off back on.
yeah. Well, like, would you be creating a new ad set, a new campaign, new ads?
I would just create a new ad set and just wrap it up in Black Friday.
Yeah.
Like new ad set with like the new ads, and then the ads would just I would change the creative, but also the copy.
Yeah. I mean, what is the urgency to do this? Like, why do you even want to do this? Is there a constraint? Is there a problem that you're trying to fix?
The Black Friday stuff.
Yeah. Like, is it like, hey, are we doing this because we're bleeding money or we need to make more? Because that's what I'm getting is like, if there's not a problem to solve, then maybe don't.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, there's no like big problem. It's just more for the sake of just more revenue generation.
Why not do it for another client? Why not start there? Why not do the Black Friday and wrap it up and do it for another client, see if it works first before moving on to Adam?
Because the only other person doing the 6 week stuff it would be Rami, and we haven't done that yet.
Well, like no, like you have like a few clients like karate and stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
So you just take whatever is working for them and you wrap it up in Black Friday and see if it works.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I'm hesitant about that is because I just made the new ones that are now working better. So now I'm like, I don't want to touch that again because I just got here, like I just got to a cool place.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
But like I'm more inclined to do that here because like the flexibility. And it's like, I know if I just turn this back on, we'll be good.
Yeah, that's what I was getting is like I didn't know if it was more of a situation where you would lose things if it was a client or Adam. If you have more forgiveness at Adam, well then yeah, do it at Adam's place.
Peace. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like the Black Friday stuff, it's just more internal as part of like my actual job role here is like, hey, come up with some stuff. Let's get some Black Friday stuff going. That's cool. Here's my ideas.
Give it a
And
shot.
then
Give it a shot. Give it a shot. I just don't know if it's a new ad set that you do or a new ad that you put in that ad set. That's the thing I don't know about.
oh, oh, that is a good question. What do you think? Like what's like the difference if I just make it
So when it came to your ads, did we create it? Have we been creating new ad sets? We've
yeah.
been creating ad sets, right? And then turning off the old one. Fuck. So here's what I would do. I would create a new ad set, okay? And then I would throw all three of the ads in there. I would throw the original ad in there as well as the Black Friday ad in there. And then see if that ad set performs. If it does, great. If it doesn't, turn on the original ad set.
And then the copy too. Like so the original ad, original copy, Black Friday ad, Black Friday copy.
So right now you have this ad set, and I don't know, let's just say theoretically you have like two ads in there, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so then you create another ad set. This one, you're going to have three ads in there. You're going to have two of the original ones, and then the third one is going to be the Black Friday one. And you're going to turn this off. And then you just let this rip and see what happens. If it does good, cool. If not, you turn off this ad set, and then you turn on the original stuff. That's what I would
Okay.
do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got time. I got time before then. So yeah.
Cool, cool. What
Yeah.
else?
No, that was it. That was just my side quest ahead.
Okay, cool. All right, then. If that's everything, bro, then we'll just chop it up in Slack, okay?
All right, for sure.
Keep me posted.